This podcast is rated MA. It may contain coarse language, sexual situations, and fantasy violence. It is not recommended for persons under 17. Welcome to another episode of Werewolf the Apocalypse, Rage Across St. Louis. Episode 3, The Great Hunt. This is Kirk, and I am the storyteller for Werewolf the Apocalypse.
This is Seth, and I'll be playing Dax Gibbons.
I'm Mary, playing a character Blaze.
I'm Julia, and I'm playing Abigail Morningkill.
So the scene opens up on the moot that is happening right now at Cahokia Mounds, at the base of the Monk's Mound, which is the largest mound there. A huge bonfire is lit. There are about 40 werewolves dancing around, having a good time partying, and you three are kind of brought up after you have handed over your paperwork that you found, told your tale, and they call for the rite of wounding because they see that you've been hurt, Abigail, and the rust of you are okay. You did not.
I'm wounded.
Yeah. So the drummers change tune, change time. She's brought forward. You basically have one of the galliards. Are any of you galliards?
Yes.
You are galliard. You're offered to tell the tale of how this happened, or you can tell somebody and they will basically story tell for you.
Yes, I will decline and have someone story tell for me.
Okay, this would be like performance and...
I have 0 performance.
Ooh.
I have performance, but not that kind.
I thought I had performance. I do have performance.
It's up to you guys if you want to do this or you want to default to somebody else doing
I'd
it.
rather default to somebody else.
I
Just because we're
have no-
new, I just feel like I would be really nervous to be telling a story in front of all these new people.
As a character, I would have no interest in being the one to tell the story.
And though I'm Galliard, I'd prefer
It's
to
not
be
my glory.
a loner.
Okay. All right. Then you basically tell someone else in the group, and they kind of take you aside and interview you a little bit. The lady by the name of Spirit Moonwater is listening to your story and getting some details about it. 30-year-old looking lady, kind of a hippie, child of Gaia. She is, like I said, an older lady. She is listening intently, asking questions, going over everything. Is there anything you guys want to put in or relate to her that maybe she could bump the story up, or...
Like a role, like a performance role, or like a...
More like details of what happened, or
right.
Particularly noble things that occurred, or heroic, or just
see.
Impressive.
It would probably be... Do you want to use charisma or manipulation to do this role?
I have both very high. They're the same. So I will do charisma because I don't want to manipulate.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, if you want to lie, it'd be subterfuge. If you want to tell the truth, expression.
I have all of that. I'm going to use expression and charisma to make this.
Anyone
specific.
else want to lend in with anything? Intelligence or wits or anything? Wits and primal urge, maybe, with somebody, if they have it?
What's my goal here?
I can do
Difficulty
that.
is just a sit. We'll go with 7.
That makes a decent roll. Wits and Primal Urge.
I am captivating in my charisma.
I gotta remember what my 9s and 6s are.
I got 1.
1, so we'll add that to it.
I got 3.
3. Let's see.
Oh, sorry.
Dex.
Did you say yay or nay on rolling the captivating charisma?
Ooh, that's a good one.
We'll use your charisma and primal urge. Any 10s count as 2.
6.
6 successes.
No. 6 is the cut.
7.
5.
So she's pretty impressed with the details you're adding in about the smells and this creature, the spider thing you guys fought.
It tasted good.
Exactly.
Ew, I forgot about
You
that.
almost snacked
Gross.
upon that thing like a Twinkie, a giant spidery Twinkie.
That sounds gooey in the center and not delicious.
And sort of crunchy.
Oh.
Tastes a little like radiation.
So she, while they're doing drumming and someone else is telling tales, this rite of wounding is not just for you guys, it's for other exploits that have happened with the last month they're going through. And the other packs seem to be telling their own tale to the group. People are listening in as the people are brought up with the wounds from these stories. Most of the people take a bowl of ash and they sort of rub it into the wound, which stings. And it also keeps it from healing really well, so that it will stand out more. So you're watching this, Abigail.
I don't know if I'm okay with this. Like I know that I probably should be, but my character's like, ew.
Yeah. So they get up to you guys and Spirit Moon steps up and starts telling the details of what has happened and throwing in things like what each of you were thinking at the time, what each of you were feeling at the time. And it's a pretty awesome tale. There's not a lot of music going on, but someone is, beating some drums and some harps and things like that. Someone's got something. They've all got someone's got a banjo, someone's got a regular guitar, someone's got tiny little bongo drums and all kinds of stuff like that. So it could be a little hippie college scene sort of thing where everyone's
like they have one of those little
in
drums on the stick where you spin it and
yeah. Some of it's very tribal. There's a lot
one of those gourds with the net with the shells on top
Yep.
of it.
yeah, where you just go
Yeah.
Yep.
All that stuff.
We sing Kumbaya and hold hands.
Not quite, but it's pretty impressive. So by the time she's done with her story of your tale, people are really engrossed as to what's going on, what's being said. 8 successes in telling your tale.
Woo! With ours added to it.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
With the extra dice added in. People are floored, flabbergasted. There might even be something about the prophecy, which none of you have ever heard about. There is cheering when she's done. People are jumping around. Beer is being flung around. Blaze gets champagne poured on her somehow, or beer or something like that from someone. A fellow Fianna, so it's probably beer.
Sounds delicious.
And your tribes sort of gather together around you and cheer you on individually. Your father comes over and puts his hand on your shoulder and says, "Well done."
Yeah. I'm pretty proud. Abigail's pretty proud. She likes her dad.
Yeah. Let's see.
He's a pretty cool dude. Hate my brother.
He is there as well, and he is
He's probably
sneering.
pissed. I was saying he's probably pissed.
He's not happy.
I am totally okay with that. In fact, I flip him off.
It seems to really piss him off a lot more, maybe even more than it should have. Like a casual flip off, he just gets red faced.
And he can't do anything because we're in front of people. I
Right.
know how to work the crowd. Piss him off. So
You're brought forward
Oh,
and spun around, and someone takes their hand and puts it in this bowl of ash,
awesome.
puts it on your back, and slowly rubs it into the searing burn that you have there already. So imagine a nice, terrible sunburn where someone is just rubbing raw ash and grit into it.
Ow.
That's what's happening. This is to mark the rite of passage on this day and this pack and their introduction to the Sept of the Falcon. People go nuts again. Beer's being thrown around. Drums, guitar, the whole good works. You all are allowed to sort of disperse and meet some of the people that are around. Let's have Blaze do a perception and awareness or alertness.
Alertness. Now, out of game, how do packs work? Like, could somebody join our pack later?
Yep.
Okay, I didn't know if like once a pack was bonded, it's done and nobody else can enter.
No, they
Okay.
can be added to, subtracted from. If you're taken away from your pack on purpose, it's like it's like one of the worst breakup sort of things that could happen, unless they all hate each other. That's the only
okay.
time it's kind of an okay thing.
And sometimes packs are formed for specific purposes, and like once
Correct.
that task is over, the pack kind of
disperse.
dissolves, and I mean, it's
Right.
yeah.
Or if the pack is killed, mostly, then the survivor or two might be reassigned to a different pack.
Gotcha.
It's almost like friend circles, but
Right.
incredibly intense.
Yeah, it's like more of
Some combination of friend circles,
Marriage.
and like battle units in an
Right.
army.
yeah, it's kind of like on a genetic level almost.
Right.
Like we just
So
feel
it's
like we need to
inbred.
be
Like
together.
it-
yeah.
you want to
Inbred.
be in a pack.
Gotcha.
So, or in some sort of group.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where he's fighting always, wanting to be a loner, that he wants to be off on his own, but
His
it
instinct
feels
brings
really
him
good.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels strange. Got it.
Yep.
I got 2 successes.
2 successes. One of the men who is with the Fianna, you notice he's got a T scar on his chest, and it dawns on you that this is the person who rescued you from your father years ago. And he has been, you notice, once you see that and look up at him, he's kind of looking at you with a weird, like, should I not talk to her? Should I talk to her? And he is pretty drunk. He's been drinking for a couple hours now. Big brawny guy.
My first before you got to do this, I was going to say I go find whoever poured the beer on me and see if they have some more, because that sounds like a plan.
You're all given drinks. Yes, you're all given drinks.
I want champagne. I'm a classy.
Homebrew thing. Yeah, the Silver Fangs have champagne.
Yeah.
Fiona are drinking mead and
I was say
beer.
mead because
and-
that sounds awesome.
Like I have aged wine, like really old wine.
Yeah,
That's
they
pretty
bring out the good
exciting.
stuff for this.
Well, yeah, of course my dad did.
There's a few Wendigo who come to you and celebrate.
We're eating peyote.
They might be
Yeah.
drinking ayahuasca.
Ah, yeah.
So that'll be a nice fun
Yeah, what is that? I'm
night.
sorry, what is that?
It's like peyote and LSD, but incredibly more intense.
Have fun with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stick to my aged
all of the
wine.
vision quests.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
So the gentleman's in front of you, and they've
Uh-huh.
handed you a beer, and he's just kind of looking you over, not saying anything, not nodding, not smiling.
I'm going to go approach him and I remember you.
I wasn't sure you would.
I spent a lot of time thinking it might have been a dream, but I suppose it wasn't.
It was not a dream. It's good to see you are doing well.
I owe a lot to you. I'm not sure.
So far, the payoff's been good. You've survived, and you're doing well.
If there's ever anything I can, do for you, that I seriously.
He does a old world sort of bow his head, says we protect our own.
I sort of raise my glass to that.
Says you might want to know your mother passed away a year ago.
I just sort of continue to drink at that.
He cheers, clinks your glass, and
Yeah.
drinks with you. Your father kind of has his hand on you, looking around, talking to some other people, introducing you to everybody. It's a blur. You all are meeting 40 some odd new people who know, some of them know a lot about you.
And you don't know anything about
Exactly.
them.
It's like going to a family reunion where you don't know that you're their family.
And they're telling you stories about when you're a kid, and you're just like,
It's weird that they know
Uh-huh.
things about you that maybe they shouldn't know about you. Everybody knows everything about you, but you two are hearing strange things. There are some people that know about you from Oklahoma, from hearing stories, and so it's a very awkward drinking fest going on.
There's a lot of drinking happening.
There's lots of drinking going on.
Just personally, there's a lot of drinking happening. And dancing. If there's music
There is
happening.
plenty
There's-
violins, all kinds of stuff. I mean, music from all over the world is being played right now. It's pretty eclectic. They all seem to be using the drums that are beating at the same time all the way through. Some time goes by, and Mateo. Yeah, you turn around, he's right there, glaring at you.
like I really hate that he is related to me. Like,
Yeah. So you somehow wound your way in here, following me around like a little puppy as usual.
oh, I'm way cooler than you. Where's your scar?
With that,
Oh God, am I gonna get paid back?
he growls.
Oh, because he doesn't have one.
You have embarrassed him, and from the way rage works, you can frenzy by embarrassing another werewolf.
Sweet.
Yeah,
I
so
hope I
you
frenzy
have-
him.
He doesn't frenzy, but you could tell his anger is his hackles go up because he's in Kronos form. Most everybody's in Kronos form, so the hair on the back of his neck stands straight up,
Ah, okay. I didn't know what that meant. Now I do.
and he glares at you with murder, death, kill, and says something. You'll meet your match someday. And he turns around and walks away.
It won't be you.
He stops again. He growls and forces himself to walk away. Pretty upset.
I like getting the last word.
He moves off. No one else is around to hear this. No one else sees this. It's sort of like you were going to get a drink and he walked up behind you.
Although
And he's
now,
my stepbrother, correct?
He is
Sorry.
your stepbrother.
Okay.
No, that's fine. Now I'm finding this hilarious because if you're drinking aged wine and still in Krynos form, I'm really picturing your gigantic paw
the little
hands
glass. Yeah.
with the holding
My
the
pinkies
stem
out.
of a wine goblet.
Yeah. And most of the people have
No, I have like a goblet.
goblets. That
I have like
are
a pint
sized.
juice goblet. Like, it's good. It's bedazzled and everything.
Nice. Nice. So the Wendigo are talking with you, and you meet the few people that are in the wiki. Silence guy comes up to you and nods, says, I have to get back to the watch. And Red Rider is another guy in the area. He walks up. He's kind of standing next to you most of the night, making sure everything's okay and talking about who's who and basically what he thinks of a lot of these people. So none of it's bad, but it's all seems to be all your stories you're getting from everybody about everybody else seems to be tainted by your tribe's sort of outlook on other tribes. So gets to a lull in the night, and you want to say it's somewhere around 4 or 5 in the morning. The sun starts to creep up, and the drums have not stopped this whole time. People are still playing them. It changes tempo where they all start pounding at the same time, and everyone starts to gather again. The elders sort of form a circle around the bonfire, and everyone else starts to sort of calm down and quiet down a little bit. And your father, Broadbull, I have an announcement to make. For the closing of this moot tonight, we are going to perform Great Hunt, which will signify how the remainder of the year will go. For the new ones, we will be releasing a spirit and chasing it down and killing it. If we fail to do this, then it is an omen of bad things to come. So we're counting on everybody to help us complete this. Bring forth the cage. And one of the other elders comes into the front with this bird cage made out of white crystal and sets it down. And there's nothing in it. And other people in the cairn start mumbling and getting nervous for some reason. Someone says to actually make a perception and awareness rolls. Difficulty 8. Because you three are sort of pushed together at the front.
2.
2.
1.
Wait, are 10s 2?
Only if you have a specialty that you can apply.
Got it. 2.
So the two, actually you're all three around, and one of the other people standing behind you, Red Rider, says, that thing creeps me out every time they get it out.
What is it?
He leans forward and he says it's a cage. It's got many creatures in it, and they only bring it out once about every 10 years or so to do these hunts.
There's more than one in there?
There are a lot. We don't know how many are in there.
And they release all of them or just one? Huh? Do they release all of them or
no,
just one?
No, they just release one. This thing is old. It's ancient. We don't know where it came from. Someone brought it back from a quest in the Deep Umbra, and we only know that to get it to release, we call the name out of the creature or the spirit that we want to release.
Okay.
And we pray that it never gets destroyed, because it would release everything in there. This might be where Pandora's box was, where it came from. We don't know.
Sounds like a good thing to have out right now.
Yeah, that we don't. It's very strange. It's creepy. It's creepy. Thinking what's been in there and how long it's been around. It could be thousands and thousands and thousands of years old. We don't know. At this point, people start chanting. The inner group, the council, they start chanting. Other people start howling. Some storytelling is commencing. A little bit about the cage and how it was found. The pack went out. One returned with this cage, and he does not know what happened, has no memory, that sort of thing. You all notice there's a large walnut bowl being passed around, and everyone seems to be cutting their hand and putting a little bit in, and eventually gets passed around to you guys, and you all are asked to cut your hands, and they show you how. It's just take your talent, little drops, and it's a 40 people putting blood in this. It's quite a few. Some of the others put more in than others. And after it goes around to everybody, the Rite Master takes it and starts going around and painting glyphs on people.
With the blood?
With the blood. It's either on your chest or on your forehead or on your face. Chanting is still going on. Howling is still going on. And it's not a specific letter or picture. It seems to be different for every single person. And about the time this gets done, dawn creeps up and peeks over the trees, and the howling syncs up with everybody. And then Rite Master howls, everyone starts howling. And the drums beat 3 times really fast and stops, and all the howling cuts out at the same time.
Now, do we participate in this instinctually? Do we just know what we're supposed to do? Or are we kind of watching since this is our first one?
When it comes around to doing specific things, they're making sure you know what to do.
Okay.
And it's a hunt, so whatever's going to be released is going to be hunt down.
Right.
The Rite Master stands before the cage and opens this little door on it. It kind of slides to the side, and he begins chanting and saying strange words you can't really make out. It's not Latin, it's not Arabic, it's something strange. And then he pauses, and off to your right, someone screams out a name or a word.
Do we recognize the voice?
You do.
It's my brother, isn't it?
It is your brother.
Prick.
Maybe we should hunt him instead.
For reals.
He screams out, "Obstinaire!" And everyone looks over at him, especially the Right Master, and the cage begins to glow. And it's a rushing sound, and wind starts coming out of this tiny little, like, tiny bird cage, knocks your father down. The bonfire explodes into flames, and pieces of wood and burning ember and everything are showering everybody. And there's some people screaming, some people barking, lots of growling going on, and the rest of the council starts backing off because they were standing back behind the cage. They back off, and they all looking at each other worried. When a light in the middle of this cage starts to shine and get brighter and brighter and brighter, eventually everyone starts covering their eyes as it eventually reaches a crescendo that burns, and it stops. Everyone looks back up toward the cage, and above the cage is this figure of a human with maybe 1 or 6 wings at their back, full armor, and it looks like either the wings are beating or they're in 3 different places at the same time. It's a strange, it's not a hummingbird sort of look, but it's very odd. And it looks around at everybody with this hateful gaze, says something in a language none of you understand. It's not even reminiscent of what he was speaking, and then it leaps into the sky and heads off toward the west. People freak out. Everyone who hasn't changed or shifted back changes, and everyone starts taking off, running through the woods trying to find this thing. And it is flying fast, like it goes up and then supersonic. Some of the group runs east in the opposite direction, just in case maybe it turns around, but the good majority starts heading off in the direction it went, and they start fanning out. What do you guys do?
My instinct is to chase it.
Go west.
Everybody's instinct
Go west,
is to
young man.
crazily chase this thing.
And by that I mean I start chasing it because that's...
It's taking all of my power not to like beat the shit out of my brother, but because I'm assuming this is bad, you know, just by the way people acted, and my brother just did that probably because he was pissed at me.
It was a breach of the right, I guess.
So he could get in serious trouble for this?
Probably.
Yay.
Probably.
Like, in the back of my mind, like, I'm really happy about it, but not. Like, I want him to get his comeuppance.
As you're running, Red Rider is next to you, and he says, take your pack into the Umbra. You guys are going to shift sideways as you're all loping along. And you see, as you're looking around, some of the other people are running, and they sort of jump, and they're gone.
How do I do that, Red Rider?
He grabs onto everybody and stops you all for a second and says, no one taught you guys this?
No.
Do you have anything reflective on you?
I look down at myself as a 9-foot-tall werewolf who's not really wearing
Right.
any clothes anymore. No.
He holds up, it looks like a small hand mirror, like a signal mirror almost. And he says, look into this. All 3 of you, look into this.
It's a mirror. I look into it instinctively.
He says, now look through this and feel that you're inside the mirror. Feel that you're not where you're standing. Push yourself without pushing yourself. Gaze into it and imagine yourself on the other side of the mirror. And as he does this, everyone starts rolling. It's your gnosis, I believe.
I just realized I have Gnosis, Rage, and Willpower dice.
Nice. It is your gnosis. And the difficulty is a 2.
Oh,
3.
3.
2.
2.
7.
Oh, no, wait, 3. I'm sorry.
3.
I'm used to it being
Good.
higher than
2.
2.
Yeah. So all of you instantly, as you're staying there, he's gone. And you are in the middle of the woods. And as you look around, the grass seems greener. The leaves seem greener. The bark on the trees seems almost to pulse. It's a different reality you have crossed over into. And he's not there. You see some of the other people that vanished when they were running up ahead running as well. But all the other people are gone.
Do I see any sign of the crazy spirit in the sky?
Primal Urge and wits. Perception, I'm sorry. Smells are a lot stronger.
Oh, are we all doing this?
Sight,
Difficulty?
difficulty 8.
2.
2?
1.
1.
1. You all get a sense of the direction it went off, and you think you catch its smell a little bit. The sun in the sky that was coming up is not as bright as it was just a few seconds ago, but everything seems to be lit nicely. It's very odd. You guys take off. Eventually you come across what would normally be a road or a highway, and it's not there. It looks like it's been the ground's been torn up, and dirt with a strange sort of covering. It almost looks like spider webs have covered the highway. You guys pass through it, don't even think anything of it. There you see no houses, no buildings. You're heading kind of toward the downtown area, which would be across the river, and normally you could see the skyline. You do not see much of the skyline at all. like it looks very faded, or like someone just took an eraser and kind of erased most of it. So some of the buildings are there, some of them aren't. They look really see-through too. You guys keep running. Make another perception and primal urge. Difficulty 8.
1.
2.
1.
Okay. You guys stay on its track. The other people that had jumped into this realm with you have spread out, fanned out farther. Some went farther north, some went farther south. You guys seem to be kind of right in the middle. Make a perception and alertness roll as you guys are running.
Difficulty?
Difficulty 6.
1.
3.
Botch.
Oh.
At least it's just perception. I'm just saying.
Oh wait, didn't you do that last time on perception?
Maybe.
Like, this. If you're gonna botch, this is the time to do it.
He stops so fast that his paws dig into the ground, and he almost does a flip over looking at something on the ground. You, Blaze, begin to notice that there are other sort of entities around here that you've never seen before, and you have no idea what they are. He is definitely looking at something on the ground, though. It's that he stopped.
It's not what I'm looking for.
No, it's not what you're looking for, but whatever this is has caught your attention as you ran up on it. It looks like a turtle, but it looks like maybe an ancient turtle, like something from 2 million years ago. It's a very odd looking creature. It's not a box turtle, but it looks kind of like a snapping turtle, but it's just different, and it's a little larger than normal. So it's about the size of about 13 inches round, and you've never seen anything like this before. It's flatter, and it almost has fins instead of claws, but they're clawed teeth at the end of his feet, his legs, and he is just enamored with this thing.
Right, and I see this because I'm still trying to. I'm getting distracted by things in the sky, but I'm still trying to. And then he suddenly stops, and I'm like, okay.
It makes you all stop.
Right. Wait.
Bat it around like a little puppy would a toy.
Okay, I'm sure that's fascinating. Is that helping us find the...
And you hear, all of you hear, and it's not quite a voice, it's more in your head, you hear, stop.
Okay, stop playing with it. We should go now.
Okay, let's go.
Willpower point, spend it.
Yep.
You're like, no, I want to take this with me.
No, please.
And
Please.
it pokes its head out slowly and looks at you like,
Aw.
what the hell are you doing?
Like, please don't destroy.
Like not
this
an animal,
turtle.
like if you pick up a normal turtle, it's like looks at you like, I want to go somewhere, but I don't know what you're doing or what's going on. This thing looks at you like, why are you bothering me? And you suddenly hear that in your head, why are you bothering me? You all do.
Creepy.
Right, put it down. Come on now.
All right.
But it's
Spend
All right.
a willpower point.
Leave it alone.
Another one?
No,
2?
you spent the one, and he
Yeah.
puts it down and starts jogging off while watching it. It's the weirdest thing you've ever seen.
You guys ever seen anything like that before? It
No.
was kind of weird. I liked it. I liked it.
Just don't eat it. It'll make me cry.
Maybe it'll be
All
here
right.
when we get back.
Oh.
Yeah, we can get it on the way back.
All right. Nice.
Mary, what you saw was something akin to a large cicada flying through the air, about 10 times larger than they normally are, just buzzing and flying and doing its thing. It's very odd.
So we each perceived it different?
Nope.
No, it's
You all saw the
separate.
turtle, and she, with her 3, saw a cicada about the size of...
Gotcha.
Yeah.
A pigeon.
A pigeon, yeah.
That's up.
So you guys
Ugh.
continue running. Primal urge again. Perception. Difficulty 8.
1.
2.
1.
All it takes.
I'm just gonna stop rolling and just tell
You
you
keep
whenever.
catching a whiff of this, whatever it was that popped out, and you think you're heading the right direction. The grass seems taller, seems more intense. The sounds, it's a totally alien environment. It's more alive and more vivid, but it almost seems like a dream almost. It's odd. You guys run and run and run. Eventually, there is the river in front of you, the Mississippi. You eventually make it up to the beach, and looking across this, it is not quite brown. It's a little more green, as in it looks kind of putrid, flowing.
Are there any bridges left?
It looks a little oily. Looking up and down, you do see a bridge off in the distance, but it doesn't look as there as you remember it. It's a little bit to the south.
And can we see anyone else in our group that has gone over the river?
Not this way.
Is there? Can I roll like wits and something to maybe think of a way across this or to understand what we need to do?
It's up to you guys. Like I said, there's a bridge off in the distance. The water does not look like water. You're not sure. There's an instinct not to want to go into it.
We're playing Oregon Trail, and I decided to forge the river.
And by forge, you mean Ford.
Ford, that's what I meant. It's been a while since I
The
played that
river
game.
will be mine. I will make a weapon of it.
Right, that's a different thing.
Go up and smell the water. It smells putrid.
Okay.
It smells like waste. It smells like metal. It smells like wire burning.
And it's distinctly, I mean, it's Mississippi size. It's too wide to cross.
It is. It looks too wide to cross.
I vote bridge.
And it looks like if you were to get in it, whatever it would just suck you down. It's like it's not water.
I don't.
Bridge.
I don't like it. I vote, let's go find that bridge.
You guys head off south a little bit, and you come to eventually what looks like was once a bridge, and maybe it just didn't get made right or something. Something's happened. It looks a little post-apocalyptic. As you get closer and closer, perception, awareness, alertness. Difficulty 6.
2.
1.
Nothing.
This thing is made out of, it looks like fine spider web. Some of the webs are thicker, but most of them are just thousands and thousands and thousands that have been woven over each other. And it looks padded a little bit, makes a weird sound, but it feels pretty solid.
Like all the way across. There's
All the
no
way
like
across.
holes or anything.
There are holes in certain parts, but you think you should be able to run across most of this
Okay.
without having
Okay.
too much of a problem.
Let's go, guys.
Yeah.
You guys
creepy,
take off?
But let's do this.
Perception alertness again. Get about a couple yards on.
Difficulty?
Difficulty's 5.
2.
4.
2.
4, 2. You all kind of stop as the sound that it's making of you padding along these webs is resonating and sort of going off into the distance. It's almost like you're
Like a real spider web almost?
like a real spider web. Like if
Ooh.
you were to go up to one of these metal wires, support wires, and hit
wire
it.
sound.
Yeah, it's making that sound.
Ugh.
Perception and awareness again. Difficulty 8.
1.
0.
0. Ladies, you feel like you're being watched. You start looking around, and as you look up, you see there are a few of these spider-looking creatures. It's nothing like what you fought the other day or earlier, but they are smaller, and they seem to be going along up at the top, repairing things.
What are you
putting
guys
things
looking
back
at? Let's
together.
go.
And one of them seems to be watching you. They don't look like real spiders. They look like they're made out of concrete almost. It's very odd.
Take a
Does it
couple-
look like it's going to do anything or...
Once you stopped and looked up, it paused, whatever it's doing. The other one is still doing its tending to its webs.
I take a couple of like sideways steps, like keeping eye contact with it, and I'm like, I'm gonna run.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not directly...
She takes off
yes.
running, and you notice the spider is watching her, and she's making a lot of noise. Dong, 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 dong. The spider starts skirting along a little bit behind her, like it's keeping an eye on her. You two?
I assumed I was ahead since I didn't see it and I just kept going.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Do you take off with them?
Yeah, I mean, instinct. We don't know
Keep
any better.
watching it.
Yeah, but to me, I think we need to go slower. I think it's getting pissed that we're breaking its stuff. But we're going to run
It
because
seems to
we
be
don't...
keeping an eye on you.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, the faster I get across it, the faster I will be out of its,
There you go.
web.
A couple minutes go by, and you guys make it to the other side. You have entered the city edge, and as you look around, everything seems to be making up these spider webs. The walls of buildings, street lights, churches, everything has a sort of see-through, hazy feel to it. And you notice there's a lot more spiders all over the place, sort of putting things back together, calcifying things. And it feels really weird. Like you're just back in nice, plush fields, and now this is a very stark, very quiet. There's no wind blowing, and just like this ticking sound, like all over the place. Perception and alertness again. I'm sorry, perception and primal urge. Difficulty 8.
Nada.
3.
3.
3.
You two think you still have it scent, and it's headed off a little bit toward the west. But now that you're on the other side of the bridge, the streets are also made of this webbing as well. You see a few trees on the, what would be the arch grounds, that are just covered in webs. Like they're not living or growing very well, but they seem to be present. And as you two have stopped and you hear her coming up behind, you definitely hear her coming while she's loping along. And then she stops.
You're so loud.
I don't think so.
And this is one of those scenes where the camera, as you guys stop, it pans up and shows the rest of the city. It just looks like it's been abandoned and covered in webs. And then maybe the concrete and everything fell away when the web stayed.
Let's keep moving. I think we have the scent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Creepy, but we don't want
Just
to
head
lose
off
it.
at a full gate, or
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's obvious we live in St. Louis, so we recognize where we
you
are.
recognize
it just
some
looks
of
really
them.
strange, right?
It
Okay.
looks alien again.
Okay.
As you all start running, the reverberations are going up the building. The sound is going up the buildings, and then they seem to be reverberating with others.
And
as
we're
you're
not hearing this from any of the other werewolves that are here.
You don't think they're in the city. You think the last time you saw somebody, they were heading way off north, and somebody was heading way off south.
As that sound gets louder, I'm like slowing down.
You all
and-
start cautiously slowing
Yeah,
down.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, if we're
As you
making
slow
that
down to a
choice.
certain point, it doesn't seem to be as bad because you're able to pad a little differently, but the trumping running is resonating. It's almost like you're being announced.
Right. Try to fall into that sort of really that wolf lope where you're
Yeah.
not running, but you're making progress.
Right. The rest of you do this as well. The sound really dissipates after that. And as you stopped, there were looks like there were lots of eyes watching you, and the quieter you are, they start moving off and doing other things.
I think we should head to the park.
There's still a
Forest
few of you
Park.
that are being watched.
Get out of this.
Yeah, but for how long?
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go through it regardless.
Fine.
We should at least see if we can catch a scent before we.
Primal
Right. I'd
urge.
rather follow
got
the
the scent.
trail.
Primal urge perception.
Difficulty
Difficulty 7.
1.
2.
4.
It's nearby. Whatever the smell is getting stronger. You think it's just a little bit south of where you're at. It might be along what you would consider Market Street.
If it's coming to me that much stronger, definitely slowing down, definitely trying to be as quiet as possible, sacrificing speed for stealth in this case.
Okay.
I take back what I said about Forest Park. I don't really know St. Louis.
That is true. That's all right.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
Character doesn't.
The slow walking, a lot of the buildings just seem like parts that you may not notice have crumbled in real life. You can definitely see the cracks in these webs now that you're going through this streets same way. It's torn up looking. You wouldn't want to drive anything on these streets. It's pretty messed up. And through the spider webs, there's like a sheet of where you're standing, and below you see torn up blackened earth below it, like how it may have looked when they first poured concrete and stuff. There's also a humming coming from directly in front of where you're heading. It's a weird vocal humming, and you're not sure if it's a tune or not. Stealth, anybody? Dexterity and stealth? Or you would
I have
default to
those.
your
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
dexterity.
try it. I'm gonna.
If you want to spend a willpower point, you may.
Dexterity and stealth?
Yes.
Can I
Difficulty?
add my preternatural grace to this?
Yes.
How much of our stuff was healed?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Your difficulty is going to be 6 at this point.
2.
3.
3.
3. You guys are pretty quiet at this point. Creeping up a little bit farther, get up against a building, and you're able to see what you would remember or recall from St. Louis is the city park right along Market Street. There's some sculptures, things like that. And it's pretty open. There's no sculptures here. You got 4.
I forgot we're in Krynos form.
Yes. Don't forget about that, too.
Oh, yeah.
So you should have 1 more dexterity.
Yep. So and that ended up being another
Can help.
success.
That's another success for me as well.
Nope.
Okay.
Still 2.
And in the center of this open space with spidery looking buildings all around is a glowing figure with its wings moving at a weird speed. And perception and alertness as you're looking at this thing, because it doesn't make sense. It looks humanoid, looks like something out of a painting.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty is 6.
2.
2.
Nada.
None. The 2 people see this thing has its hands on its stomach, which seems to be swelling. It looks like it's pregnant almost. This figure, as you're able to look at it now, looks androgynous. You're not sure if it's male or female. And it is wearing deeply ornate golden armor. No armor on its legs, but it's wearing some sort of golden sandals. And it seems to be humming to itself as its stomach is swelling up. You also notice there are they look like little fireflies almost, but they're not floating around. They're all around it at chest height. And they seem to be just standing there or not moving at all. Some are pulsing, some are really weak. So there's a few at the ground level, but it seems to be all gathered around this thing that came out of the cage. And it hums and hums and hums and keeps doing its thing.
Oh, son of a bitch. I forgot that I'm wounded this whole time.
Yeah,
I've been
she's
rolling-
really hurt.
I've been rolling too many dice.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah, poop. We all have.
That's all right.
I mean, I'm only at -2s now because.
Usually it's 4. Well, is it 4?
That was my
Reflexive rolls.
Yeah, right. That was my assumption that I just made, that I should have been taking 2 off of all of those pools.
I shouldn't have been rolling at all for perception.
You're like, ow, ow, ow. I don't care, ow.
I'm just gonna follow. And hopefully you guys know where you're going.
I would not have been able to roll anything
Yeah.
the entire time.
Are you at -5s?
No, -2, but
That's what
my
I-
perception's 2. And
Yeah, that's what my perception
Yeah.
is too. But my primal urge is 4.
yeah, it's only 2 on mine. I'm messed up.
I would have about halved my dice pools on a lot of those
Yeah.
things.
Poopy.
Sorry.
It's from every roll except for reflexive actions such as soak.
Well, in hindsight.
Yeah.
It impairs your movements. You guys would have moved a lot slower.
Would have helped?
We'll have to remember that for next time.
We'll get back on track.
It doesn't feel like we should still have the wounds since it's been like in real time a week.
Real time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's only been a couple hours.
Right.
That's all that happened. So you're standing there in front of this thing, which seems to be surrounded by glowing things. And slowly its wings
How
fold
close are we?
to its back. I'd say you're about 200 yards away. Because you guys basically came around a corner and looked at it.
Can I use my occult maybe to see if I can?
Intelligence and occult, you may. Difficulty is going to be, I'll say 7.
I got 1.
You got 1. This thing looks like it's out of paintings, religious paintings. It looks like an angel of some sort. Exactly like out of some Renaissance painting.
But we know it's bad, hence why we're hunting it, or is it just we're hunting it because we're being told? Like, I guess I don't understand how to.
Could be a little bit of both.
Both. Okay.
Yeah. But you're not sure because you don't think it was what was supposed to be called out of the cage,
Right.
but it was put in there somehow by someone at one time.
So it's
Y'all
probably
want to
not
get
good.
closer?
No.
Yeah.
But yes.
You think you could go back behind some buildings and maybe sneak around a little bit? But
Circle for a better vantage.
going through this whole, like looking at each other, you're all very vibrant. Like
So we're
you're very
really
real.
noticeable.
Right. But you think you could slip around through some of the
Okay.
back stuff.
Let's do that.
You're also all in Krenos form, which is 10 feet tall, most of you.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you do know there's another form you can go to, which is a lot smaller and still not be in your human form.
Oh, right.
We can go into Hispo.
You can go in. Hispo is actually the size. They are 4 to 6 feet tall at their shoulders.
say
So
they're
imagine
dire
a dog
wolves.
6 feet tall at its shoulder.
I mean, it's a pony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're huge.
Yeah, but would it be less noticeable than like a half werewolf?
The lupus, the wolf form, is
Yeah.
2 to 3 feet tall. So
Right,
it's,
I mean,
it's
that's-
still big,
Oh.
Yeah.
but it's a lot smaller than an 8 foot tall or a 6 foot tall.
But is it hard to shift back in a crunch?
In a crunch, you can always spend rage and go instantly.
And how do we get rage back? I know we figured that out last time.
By being embarrassed, by seeing the moon every night, all different kinds of ways. It's
Okay.
pretty easy to get rage back.
Would we have gotten any back since we were just
I don't think so.
okay?
I don't think anything has really happened. How many of you guys have spent?
I've only spent 2.
Yeah,
I only have 1 left.
Yeah, that's why
I was burning rage
asking.
to
Fight.
fight, but I don't think there's a way to. It's fine if there's not. I don't know.
My brother embarrassed me. Do I get one back? No, just
Actually, you
kidding.
embarrassed him and gave him rage. That was
That's true. Yeah, but that I made him spend rage, right?
No, he had
you-
to roll it and then
Ah,
regain
I see,
rage
I
points.
see.
Basically, you activated his rage
Yeah.
and renewed it.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Should have pushed a little harder.
I know. I should have. Then maybe he would have raged out of control, and this never would have happened.
Maybe. It's all your fault.
It would have been the same way if he had officially embarrassed you in front of everybody during your story or something. You would have gotten rage instantly, and you can get up to like 10 or 12 or 15 rage temporary points, which is bad.
I mean, I assume he has a really hard time embarrassing me because my character just can take that shit. So I tend to piss him off more because he can't phase me. So I don't think he would have been successful in embarrassing me tonight, especially because I'm pretty proud of myself and he's a douche. I wasn't planning on hating my brother as much as I do until I saw his picture.
Right, and then there was that picture.
That guy.
I hate your brother. I
I
don't
know.
have a reason to hate your brother, and I hate your brother.
And
He
I feel
just
really
looks
bad
like an
because
ass.
we keep saying my brother, and I'm just picturing Jason, my brother, and I'm like, oh, I don't hate my brother. So if Jason's listening, I don't hate you.
145.
Don't believe a word she says.
Getting rage. The moon. The first time you see the moon at night, you will get rage. If it corresponds to your moon sign, you get all of your rage. If you botch, how many times you take an extra rage point since you botch? Humiliation, confrontation. You receive a rage at the beginning of a tense situation right before combat starts. new stories, that sort of thing. So it's pretty much all the time, seems like.
Can you explain botching just so that I can make sure I'm doing
Botching
this
is
correctly?
if I give you a roll, dexterity and alertness, or dexterity and
Athletics or something.
athletics, and you roll, and I tell you the difficulty is 6, and you get no 6s, you get 5, 4, 3, 2, and you wind up with a 1 left over, or 3 1s, that's a botch. And each one you're left over with is a multiple of the other ones. So if you get 3, it's
You
like
just fucked
10
up.
times worse than just getting 1.
So if you don't get any successes and have a 1.
That's a botch.
Okay, so that's what. Okay, I was doing that right then.
And that's another reason why if you don't want to mess up at a roll, spend a willpower point, because that's always an automatic success.
Now, if you have 2 successes and 2 1s,
They don't. That
it
doesn't
doesn't matter. It's only if you don't get
Correct.
a success.
The old
Got it.
system
Yeah, I was gonna say it used to be that way.
the old werewolf system is you would roll, and every one you got would take away from your successes.
'Cause isn't that
the
how
most
Exalted
first,
is?
so it would take your 10s out first, huh?
Isn't that how Exalted was too?
I don't think Exalted did.
I think it was the
Scion did.
Scion did, yeah. I think Exalted worked the same way, where if you were left over with no successes and
Yeah.
And
a
a one,
1,
okay.
it botched.
It had
Which
just
didn't
been
happen
off.
too often.
I do it all the time.
Mr. Seth is pushing the limits of reality by doing this, but it does happen. But like I said, the old system, people were like botching left and right. It was crazy and it was bad. I mean, terrible stuff would
Yeah, because
happen
if
to
you
these
rolled like
packs.
3 successes and 4 1s, then technically it's a botch because they
Oh
would
yeah,
cancel each
that's
other
how it
out.
works.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
that's how it
Oof.
worked.
Okay,
It was
sorry,
terrible.
I just wanted to make sure.
Or they would get no successes and wind up like 4 1s, and it was just
Oh.
reality falls apart, and you have crashed a car,
And
And
by
you
a
weren't
car,
even
you mean
driving.
the Lex-
and you weren't even driving somehow. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty intense. Or you caused.
Or
you
it was
know,
the Lexus that your boss lent you randomly
Right.
that one time.
Yeah.
And
It was
it's
pretty
total
intense
down.
back in the day. I'm glad that's one of the better things they've done to this system is made it more intense, more heroic, and not as
Botchy.
comical. It wound up being comical a lot of times with all the botching going on. Yeah, because you could botch Rick rage rolls and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Terrible.
Where is the angel of death?
where it says Gateway Mall. That is where it's at.
Oh.
Okay.
That shithole.
So you guys pretty much came across the Martin Luther King Bridge, went south along 4th Street, and then cut over a little bit.
I would like to try to change to lupus
Okay.
to sneak
That
around.
is a stamina and primal urge.
We're not far from my work.
Nice.
5 minus
You're
2.
It's not on the map though.
Difficulty is 6 to go into stamina, or to go into Chronos. And I think on the backside where it has your forms, it
Yeah.
has the difficulty.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
So whatever form you're in, it takes that number of successes for the forms you have to go through to get to it. So you're in Lupus, going to Chronos takes 2 successes.
I was also going to try that, and it was.
Ooh.
What am I rolling? Primal urge and
Stamina and
stamina.
primal urge.
I rolled right into a puppy stage. No, I'm lupus now.
3 or more, you do it instant.
Yes.
I think.
You don't have
Yes,
to
I rolled 3.
bypass the. You don't have to go through Hispo.
Well, that's what you're basically doing. You're going through, but it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
If you get any successes above the number you're required.
So in this system, and I'm just clarifying, you don't take it off. You don't take your negatives off the successes. You take it out of your dice pool.
Oh,
Correct.
Okay.
you take it.
Yeah. It's always dice.
Yeah.
3. What does it take to shift?
It's the
Just-
difficulties are on the back.
Oh, 6. So I needed 2. So and I did 3. Okay. So I successfully shifted.
Plenty.
Got it.
I got 6 successes.
Jeebus. What's your primal urge?
3, but right now my stamina is 7.
Oh, yeah, mine's 5. Minus 2.
Right. That's yeah. I had 2 fewer dice.
Boo.
But I also rolled a lot of. I mean, I rolled all 6 successes on 8 dice.
Well, you're like kind of a brawler, so that makes sense.
Yes, that's true too.
And primal urge is always good to have, just in general.
I mean, I have primal urge. I'm just not very broody.
Primally?
I'm not very broody. Not brute. I don't.
Brute-ish, I think is the word you're looking for.
Yeah, brutish.
If you ever need to do it instantly without wanting to roll, spend a rage point. You instantly fly into that form. And it's more of a mystical change. It's not quite the slow, lumbering change unless you were to get like one success and you did 3. You slowly change in that next form and you roll again.
Then it's
and
Dragon Ball Z kind of. You're standing there for 3 episodes gathering your energy before you actually manage to do anything.
Yep. It's the change from American Werewolf in London where he's slowly changing into Hispo one success at a time. So he's going into Wolfman and he's going all the others.
So we are now 3 actual wolves.
You have all basically bent down and transformed down. Rage seems a little farther away from you. When you're in Kronos, you're always wanting to get hit, fight, run, that sort of stuff. She, you all notice, has a beautiful white pelt. Abigail has this coat that sort of glows almost for her pure breed. You all have pure breed, though. So you all look like textbook versions of the wolves you
except
are.
for that big patch of hair you're
There is
missing
a
on your
big
back.
patch of hair missing, though.
Yeah.
But it's glorious.
It is
glorious.
You all, yeah. But you all look like your perfect textbook.
Oh, did everybody take pure breed?
I took
Everybody
one.
has at least one.
Oh,
yeah.
I have 4.
Right.
Woof.
Well, I have 3.
That was probably overkill.
I'm just
In
big and
hindsight.
red.
Not
I'm,
necessarily. Whenever you are talking with other werewolves, you will add those 3 dice into any social roll
Oh,
you
okay.
make.
that's,
Yeah, I think I took that because of the morning kill
Right,
thingamabobber. Okay, that makes sense now.
and your tribe it's super
They're big on
valuable in your tribe.
They're big on that. Yep. So, shows where the angel is on the new map. It's in the middle of.
And we're on... No, we're not on Mark.
I don't think you're on. Well, you might be on that
We're
map.
on
Also.
Chestnut.
I might have zoomed in too much.
We're here on Chestnut.
So go ahead and mark yourselves on there where you're at. And it kind of shows the buildings a little bit. Did you
and then
zoom in
actually
enough?
mark your character too.
Well, I
right?
mean, if we're all in the same space right
Okay.
now.
For now, it's not. So,
So are we thinking of like circling around here and
Yeah,
trying
I
to get
think we
closer?
should go this way around the buildings and come in on 15th.
I will trust you guys.
I think that's 15th. No, 9th.
you were at the corner of Chestnut and 7th? Is that
Yes.
where I had you? Okay.
Yes.
I think so.
So we're going to go up 7th to Pine and then go up to 9th.
Okay. Let's do, whenever you get up to 9th, a stealth roll and your dexterity. If you want to spend a willpower point, you may. Difficulty is going to be 7 as you're getting close to this thing. And it's nice the way they have them grouped, so all the stuff that is physical is going to be in that first column under your strength and dexterity.
And you said that the difficulty was 7?
Yes.
1.
Am I allowed to spend a willpower after I roll?
No.
I don't think so.
Don't.
So that's why I always ask ahead of time.
I knocked over a big trash can, I think. I botched.
Did you botch again?
I did botch again.
Man, you were like
I
cursed.
got
I'm
one.
the worst.
He is rolling vampire dice for this because he doesn't bring his own dice.
Yes.
So those are the
You can have my pink
community
dice.
dice.
I think I'll botch with those too.
They're not rolling very well for me today either. But, at least I got 1.
As you get up to, what'd you get?
I got 1.
One. One's good. As you guys get up to 9th,
One is not
Better than a
failing.
botch.
everyone stops, and he, for some reason, looks over to see down the street and runs into like a street, what would be a street sign or an old lamp. It looks like a gas lamp that isn't really there in the physical world, but may have been there a couple decades ago, and it clangs. And it reverberates. And you two see the reverberations actually going through all the spider webs up the buildings and around.
Shaking it off.
And he has put a dent in this thing. So he ran into it really hard. He was trotting along. Da-da-da-da-da, wham.
I involuntarily growl at that sound.
There is a
and
low
you,
growl
because-
happening.
I just stop. I mean, I just come to
Perception
a
and
screeching
alertness.
halt.
Everyone?
Yep.
We are in
You're in lupus form.
perception.
So your
difficulties
perception.
drop by 2, I think.
Doesn't matter. I wasn't rolling dice
Yes, your perception
anyway.
difficulties are -2 in the wolf form.
I cannot roll.
Neither can I.
I got 1.
1 is all she needs. She looks up and sees a pretty good size, about the size of a dog spider, coming down the wall of the building you're up against pretty rapidly, and it's fixated on him and the thing he has bent or broken.
That growl rises a little bit in tone, trying to actually get your attention, and I sort of like I'm jumping in between you and it, and trying to you looked a little dazed, but I'm trying to let you know what's going on.
He looks a little dazed.
Shook it
Abigail's looking at him like, what did you do? And you see this thing barreling down. It doesn't look so much like it's made out of concrete, more like it's metal. And it is dropping down on a steel wire cord out of its rump. You've got about 2 turns before you think it hits the ground. 6 seconds. And it is all clicking its pincers together. And
I'm going to try to indicate to these two that we should try leaving. Maybe it just cares that you broke that. So basically, I'm like,
Communication is, once you're all in wolf,
That's
it's
right,
pretty
we all
easy
talk.
to talk, communicate.
you can talk.
roughly.
as
So you're
wolf.
telling us what's going on at this point.
Right. I'm growling at it, and directing my attention at you guys. And I'm saying we can try to move away from it, and see if it follows. Staying behind these buildings, I guess,
Okay.
going farther up Pine.
Back
Yes.
east a little
Agreed.
bit.
Yeah.
So she backs up. She gets the rest of you to back up, and you're all watching this thing. As it would normally sound like it would hit the ground, but it all of a sudden its legs all open up and it cushions itself, and it quietly walks over to the thing and immediately starts fixing it. And while it's bending it back slowly, it is pulling out cable from its abdomen and adding it to this light post or this gas lamp, and it fixes it back up again. Pauses. Kind of looks around, turns its whole body around, and kind of does a 360, and then starts climbing up the building again. It looks like the thing is stronger now, more solid than it was before. Remember, everything is kind of made out of these spider webs. This thing looks almost solid metal.
Wow.
Solid metal.
Well, that
Now, did that one
sucked.
look different than the rest of them?
Or just a different kind.
Or just like a different
There's
version
maybe
of what we've been
different
seeing
varieties.
since the other ones
The
were more
spiders,
concrete?
yeah.
Okay.
Different species almost of
Okay,
spider.
got it.
And
All right,
And
so-
it goes back up into the webbings that are made up of the rest of the buildings. And there are, as you're looking up, there are a couple lonely strands going from building to building at the top or in the middle. But so this thing is past.
Okay.
I guess we should keep going toward
Right,
the
I'm
dude.
gonna try to get back to a view to see if anybody noticed the commotion that just happened. See if
Peek
the
around,
angel or whatever
perception
it
and
is.
alertness. Whoever's peeking around the corner.
I am apparently because I'm the only one who
Okay.
can roll. Difficulty
A 6.
2.
Ooh.
She looks around the corner and she whimpers. There's nothing there. All of the little light things are all still there, but whatever is standing in the middle or was is gone.
Shoot.
You also notice that the lights are all around this where it was. Like nothing has moved into where it is.
Can we roll Primal Urge to see if we can catch its scent?
Yes. Perception, primal urge.
Perception.
Difficulty 5.
1.
2.
2.
Oh, I can't roll.
Okay. It is still there. It's very strong. It doesn't look like it's in the same space that you're at. That
But
it
we
may
know
have
it's
crossed
near.
over.
Oh, like it crossed over into the real world.
Yeah.
Shoot. And this guy didn't tell us how to get out of this.
Does anybody have anything shiny?
I mean, I have a cult, and what does Enigma do for me?
It's like mysteries or
Okay. So I have a cult. I can see if I can.
perception alertness.
Difficulty?
Difficulty 5.
2.
I got 1.
I can't roll.
You recall that there are some water features in this park up ahead, which you're looking at, and you may be able to see a reflection in the water.
Okay. We will go sneakily there.
Okay.
Yeah, still being cautious. I want to see this park here is this park or
It's around the gateway. It's between Chestnut and Market.
Yeah,
It's green.
okay.
It's a little shaded in, but it
Oh.
says Death in the Afternoon, City Garden. It's the City Garden from
oh,
downtown.
gotcha. Okay, yeah. So it is around the spot where the angel
Right.
was.
I think there's little fountains and little all kinds of stuff there.
Yeah, I'm fighting instinct to I really want to know if if there's anything happening where the lights in the center of the lights are here on this side. So I'm trying to get close enough to see
Now, are they reacting to us as we walk up on them? No, they're
Or-
just there. Okay.
without
Perception alertness as you guys get up close.
difficulty.
Difficulty 7.
I got 1.
As you get up close and you're kind of looking at these lights, you notice there is a very, very faint outline that looks like it's a human, and that the lights seem to be at the center where the heart is as they're moving around. And all of a sudden it dawns on you, these are all people. You're seeing people in the spirit world. They look like fireflies. They're not really big. They're not really noticeable, but maybe they've been in the same spot for a little bit, and that they're sort of leaking through to the spirit world.
So if we
Okay, so
pop
whatever's
out,
happening anyway is happening on the other side.
and if we pop out, we probably shouldn't pop out as wolves. I'm just saying.
Oh, right.
Because if we pop
Correct.
out as a wolf coming out of a water fountain, people are going to be really freaked out.
In the
Very
middle
good.
of a crowd, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Julie, for her logic.
Thank you for that.
Hey, you wouldn't have known there were people if I hadn't told
That's
you.
true.
So I'll take some credit there.
That would have been funny, though.
It's fine.
So we can just instant shift back to Hamid.
As she's sort of trying to look at these people, make a gnosis roll.
Me?
Just her.
Is that also subtract 2?
I didn't think.
Yes, this is because you're actually doing something that's not
'Cause it's not
reflexive. And your difficulty
reflexive.
is going to be 8. It's your full gnosis pool. How many gnosis do you have?
Right, I've got 3.
So she's willing.
I'm
You wanna spend a
really
willpower
not
point?
the nature kind of girl here.
Do you want to spend a willpower point?
I'll spend a willpower point. 2.
2. She's looking. All of a sudden, her eyes go wide, and they start to glow, like a white glow. As you're looking at these spots of light, all of a sudden, colors start to take shape, and you start seeing the people. And you're looking around. You look down, you don't see yourself, but you're able to look around, and you see there's a crowd of people that are holding signs. And off a little bit, you see the form that the figure you were following. It does not look as angelic as it did, but it's definitely, people are looking at it and maybe talking to it. You're not sure. You can't really hear, but you can definitely see what's going on.
It's probably a politician. I'm just.
Okay.
It does not look pregnant at this point. It looks like it's in normal,
That's worried.
bland, white, tan clothing.
So we can insta shift into our helmets, though, right?
Yes, you
Okay.
can instantly shift into your helmet
All right.
or your
So
brief
we're,
form.
so are we at the pools yet?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
if I'm looking, we're close enough.
Right.
We're
Okay.
close by.
And she doesn't seem to hear you or see you at all.
Oh shit.
Looking around, everybody. Ooh, it's crazy.
Can I snap her out of it?
Pet her behind the ear or something.
Smack her in the ass. Bam.
Especially if I can't hear anything. I mean, I'll try to come back.
Because you and I are in Hamid form now.
She is concentrating intensely. If you want to come back, spend a willpower point, and you shake it off.
I can't do that.
Can't do that.
I only have 1 left. And is this a thing where if you spend them all, it's bad?
You are impulsively trying to do your nature
Right.
or your
Right. No, I want to save that last one.
moon.
I would rather not
Want to attack stuff.
Krynos all the time right now. So
I'm just going to try to shake her
Shake
head
her?
a little bit.
It seems like she's concentrating, but it's not phasing her.
We can still do this. We're human for him. It's just our dog.
Yeah, okay. That's a giant wolf.
I'm still on the other side, though.
Yeah.
We're not on the other side yet.
Right.
We're talking about pulling you through.
I don't think that's
Can we do that?
physically possible. Well, actually,
think you
there
can.
are ways to do that, yeah.
I think you can.
Because we can just pop out and act like she's our dog
not
until
easy.
she snaps out of it.
Yeah.
You need to meditate on a highly reflective surface, such as a clear pool or a mirror. When you attempt this roll, it's your gnosis difficulty, the strength of the gauntlet, which is going to be 8 where you're at.
Okay.
Gauntlet.
What's the roll? Gnosis?
Yes.
Yeah, your gnosis.
The fewer successes you get, the longer it takes to shift through the gauntlet. If it's botched, you're caught, temporarily suspended between the mundane world and the Umbra.
Oh, I'm going to botch.
I think there is a guru who've learned Pulse of the Invisible. They don't need a reflective surface. Werewolves in a pack may choose one among them to lead them into the Umbra. That individual makes a gnosis roll for them. It's usually the werewolf with the highest gnosis. If the pack is caught, the shapeshifters can make a second attempt as individuals to get out. If that roll succeeds, and they pop through.
I have 8 gnosis.
You can roll for her, right? He can't roll for me. I should roll my own.
It's up to you. The whole pack can roll, or you all roll individually.
I think we should all roll.
Well, she can't. So you're going to have to roll for her regardless. So why don't you just roll for me too?
Yeah.
You see, and just do.
all
You're
gonna
just kind of the
gather
pack
around.
leader at this point.
Yeah.
I'd say you probably have, it doesn't say anything, but you probably need to touch
Touch him.
with a
Okay,
touch to
we'll
it.
grab each other.
Difficulty 8.
8's a lot.
8 is a lot. Do you
You
want to
got
spend a
it.
willpower point?
He rolls before.
1.
1 success. It takes about 5 minutes to slowly come through the gauntlet. And it feels like you're all, once you start doing this, there are webs in front of you and you're all like pushing through this, and it's a thick wool blanket you're trying to walk through. And as you're trying, it slowly starts peeling back.
Now, is this going to phase her at all, or is she just going to continue to do what she's doing?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's not in the books.
Although,
So
in theory, if I'm physically no longer
Right.
having to pierce the gauntlet with my concentration, you'd think it would fade.
Yeah,
well,
like
you'll be able
once
to
we
see
came
yourself.
over.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, you all feel this. It's like you're trying to walk through a thick sheet of wool, and it's just slowly working your way through it, growling the whole time, trying to get through. Eventually, you succeed, and you're on the other side, and it feels like you're still like pulling your hands out, that sort of stuff. And there's people all around you. This is early in the morning still. People have signs. It looks like it's some sort of protest going on downtown. People are holding signs that say something about no nukes, Pakistan, things like this. Anybody has any current inclination of news that would be going on right now?
Oh, I have like academics, computer.
Be like current events or yeah. If you have a computer, you probably have seen something here recently about Pakistan detonating nuclear bombs last month or 2 months ago, and people are here protesting. And perception and alertness.
Am I aware of
Yes, all of a sudden you're like,
But you're
my
a
body's
dog
here.
still.
Right. No. I'm
Okay.
still in lupus.
She does a bark.
So can she still communicate with us even though she is in dog form and we're in human form?
Yes, you understand what she's saying and going through.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I got
So-
one.
So you could communicate to us what you
Right.
see.
I think it gets a little more difficult.
It's mostly body
but
language.
it's
I'm all mauled. Surely I'm bleeding somewhere. People are going to see that.
I mean, we're all kind of beat up, but do we look that horrid?
We're
we're
gonna
naked.
back up. When you guys shift to Haman form and the Umbra, you are buck ass naked. Buck
Yes.
Oh,
ass. Oh,
whatever. It's
sorry. So we're gonna
oh, that's
retcon
right.
that
We don't
last little bit.
have nothing
You
is
have
bonded.
nothing bonded to you just
Yeah.
at this moment.
Nice.
I'm gonna have to find a pair of really pretty shoes. Bond those.
Well, luckily you're still a dog.
We
It's a
we
protest.
retracted.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's a
It's
protest.
fine.
We'll just act like we're streaking or something. I don't know.
Through the quad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
figure it out.
I like the scene where you've got the two people trying to stand like while you're still in the Umbra. You're like, all right, we got to stand in front of this wolf and make sure nobody gets a good look at it. But this is like a 3 or 4 foot tall wolf, and then you get to the real world and you're like, oh, and then you like slide behind the wolf, duck down a little bit, right. I'd rather have them see the wolf.
Well, we didn't know that we would come out naked.
Right.
Well, I just didn't think about it.
Well, no, we didn't.
We wouldn't have known.
Right, we wouldn't have known.
But you would have transformed before you
Yeah,
went
you guys transformed
to
to
the
the
real
Umbra,
world.
so
So,
you
you,
didn't-
are human
We're
and
backing up a
naked
little bit.
in the Umbra.
And you're like, this isn't good. Because
So
you,
we don't
You're
want to be
still
naked
in the
Umbra.
spirit.
right.
Well,
like,
or
and
just
the other thing is, you two
know
don't
you're
realize
naked.
what she's seeing because she's just quiet. She's just looking around, and her eyes are glowing strangely. I'll say we'll give it a little bit, and eventually you shake out of it.
Okay.
Come out of it, and you're like, oh, you guys are naked.
What?
I'm looking at a hoo-ha and a willy right in my face because I'm at that level.
Right. This is sneeze. Back up a little bit.
You're used to seeing this, whatever. You get naked for a living.
Well, yeah.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, I'm usually not at crotch level while standing. I will qualify that statement all day long. But so I explained that there's
You're in the middle of a protest.
and all the also fireflies, people.
Right.
Just these glowing spots seem to be people. Also, there seems to be a politician on the other side that we're still hunting, making a speech of some kind. Doesn't look pregnant, nor is he wearing armor, nor does he have wings.
Is it actually a politician? I just made that up.
I don't know. That's the word that I use because
Right.
I mean, who else would be standing there making a speech to
Looks
people?
very
Right.
important,
That's-
and
Maybe just like the
people
leader
are
of-
around this person.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Or it's someone with a lot of charisma.
Right. That's
The-
just the word that would come to
Yeah.
The
mind.
being was very attractive, even though it was androgynous.
Yeah.
Think of Tilda Swinton and Constantine.
Okay.
Androgynous, you know if it's man or woman, but alluring in some weird way. Let's see, what else? The other thing she relates to you is it was not pregnant anymore.
Right.
So something got released, probably.
Or you just
Yeah.
can't see it on the other side.
okay.
Perception and alertness, everybody.
Not looking at
Your
things.
perceptions are
kidding?
lower than others.
Right. I got a 10 and a 2. I think I got 1.
Yep. 7 was a
Botch.
What the heck? Dude.
I know.
He's
Stop
off
rolling.
looking at something else and is like, what's that?
You're like
Found a
helicoptering your
four-leaf
willy.
clover.
Like you're just over there helicoptering in the corner.
Yeah, yeah.
What's that? What's over there? He's looking at the arch, and from where you're looking downtown, it looks like it's half built, with very thin strands going between it. And you see some of the buildings. He starts pointing out some of the buildings. That's City Hall. That's this. That's that.
I saw that in a travel brochure.
The entropy is really catching your eye with all this. Like, it's falling apart. Cities just looks crazy in this view, and it's everything that's cracked or crumbling is very amplified.
What do I see?
You see,
Slash
As he's looking
smell
around,
in here.
I'm switching dice.
there was an instant where there was
Good
like
idea.
a glow, a blinking glow in the direction where the thing was standing, and now there are other things sort of floating out. They almost look like these are like things caught by the wind. If a tree releases them, like little seeds, and they're like spreading out. There's about 50 of them, and they're going out to all. And it seems like as you're watching, one of these things gets close to one of the glowing lights, and it attaches itself and goes into it. And as it does this, they all start changing color, turning like a red.
Okay, we have a problem. I think he's infecting people.
And the arch. Oh, what?
Exactly.
Affecting people.
As you're looking off, you see one of these things float by, and you're like, "What's that?" And it goes into one of the little lights and turns red.
Is it?
Hey, what just happened?
We're naked. How are we going to handle this situation? Because we've got about 2 seconds.
Right.
You do know that people that see you in Kronos form flip out and either don't remember it or panic.
Sorry.
The majority of the time, they will run
That's
away.
right.
Oh, we switched to Hamid.
Right. No, he's just saying that
okay.
this is
With
information
your
that
knowledge from your parents,
So we should do this to disperse.
you think you could, if you shift to Kronos,
Let's do
you
it.
could go to the real world and then cause some havoc.
Why don't we disperse this? If they're getting infected, getting them away as quickly as possible is going to be the best way to do it.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go.
How do I do this again?
Shifting is a difficulty 6.
And then we just roll the
It's stamina,
Stamina
and
primal
primal
urge.
urge.
That's right.
Still minus.
If you want to spend a rage point, you will instantly go to that.
I'm gonna spend rage because I
Blink.
can't really roll.
I'm going to spend the willpower. So get an
Okay.
automatic success. Thank you. So I need one more.
And you all
Good.
take a rage from this because once she explains what's going on, it's frustrating that this thing that you were supposed to hunt down and kill has now maybe caused more damage on a spirit level.
I got 2
Two?
plus my automatic success.
Okay.
I got
so
3.
I think I'm good.
3. You all 3 instantly shift into war form. How do you want to go to the other side of the Umbra? Do you want to do individuals?
No, we'll go all together again.
Right. No, I
Highest
feel
gnosis?
like I'm gonna ride on his gnosis because I don't have a lot.
I only have 4 and I'm down 2. So
do you
you're-
want to shift here or do you want to actually get up closer to where you think the entity is?
Well, we want to get by the people.
People
Just-
are all around you. You're like in the middle
I think
of
we
them.
need to go over to where this guy is.
Yeah, but can we get? Is there a reflective surface close to him where it is standing?
Yes.
Okay, then yes.
Yeah. That's what we would do.
You must be standing in front of like a fountain or something.
Yeah.
Do you want to
Probably
spend a willpower
Keener
point
Plaza.
before you do this?
One of them, yes.
1 willpower point. You will eventually make it through. Difficulty is 8 because the gauntlet is so high here.
So it's
Did
a
you
good thing
botch?
No, he spent a willpower
Can't
point.
botch.
Otherwise,
He would have botched.
No, I got 1-9, so 2.
Oh.
2.
2. That's not too
It was close to a botch, though.
It's something else.
I was gonna come over there and smack you up.
right?
It takes about 30 seconds. Again, it's that same. It's pushing through this wall of felt. It's a
And it's frustrating because
It's-
clawing at it does not help.
right. Right. You're literally willing yourself through this wall that's separating you, and then boom, you guys are standing around this thing in a sea of people. In the morning, it looks like the sea of people is also surrounded by police officers who have made a line down the road.
Excellent.
We might get in trouble for this. Let's do it.
Another.
Well,
no, 'cause
everyone
those-
take another rage point for
those
this.
still
Oh my
Disperse.
gosh!
Oh my gosh, I'm
I'm
getting
about
close.
to. I'm about to pop.
Well, wait. Is that regaining temporary rage or it's
I'm giving you temporary rage points back.
Back.
So if you go
So we unmark-
over, you
Wait.
go over. So the boxes underneath, you
Right.
would,
Yeah.
if you've checked any off, you would erase them.
right?
Oh.
And if you are full, you gain an extra temporary one, which means you are boiling over. You can get up to like 10 or 15 if you only have like 8, but
I'm
you
confused.
So we
are
erase.
circles. The circles are your permanent pool. You never
Right.
erase those. You are spending every time you spend one, you check it off in the box.
Right.
Yeah.
And when I give them back to you, you erase the box.
Right.
If you are full and I give you more rage points, you mark them off beyond your pool as an extra one. I don't know if you want to shade it in or you want to circle it, but you are overflowing with rage at that point.
It's basically if he gives
This
you
is the
rage
only-
and you haven't had any that are spent, I put
You
it on the
gain
other side or
extras.
mark it differently because it's you have that as an extra point of temporary rage
Right.
that you can then spend.
Okay.
The
It can get-
circles.
No,
The
box.
It's still the
Gotcha.
boxes.
Okay.
The boxes are your permanent pool that you're always going to roll against.
Okay.
But these are available
Vice
to you.
versa. The circles are your permanent. The
Right.
squares. Are
Okay, I
yeah.
see what you're saying. Gotcha.
But yeah,
This is one of the few things that you can actually get more of than your
Than what your pool-
actual pool
Right.
is.
Cool. See, I guess that's why I'm confused as every other game that we've played,
Right.
like
Right.
There's a
Exalted.
max.
I had spent 5. He just gave
right. He gave it back, so you erase them. And so if he were to give you, so if you had none of these spent, if you had all
Mhm.
these erased,
Then
and
I
he
would
was still to
put
give
the
you
next
one,
one over
yeah,
here.
you'd mark it somewhere else, and that
Put
would
it
know you
in
would
the
have
squares.
this many plus that many to spend.
Right. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when that happens, you need to spend. You probably want to spend them as fast as you get them because
Having that much rage.
you are slavering and red-eyed and all kinds of stuff.
Gotcha.
it's upset you.
So it's the opposite. You want it to be full?
No. You want to, because the rage that you've spent, well,
You don't want it to be over full.
right.
So it's
If-
best to have no boxes filled in if you don't want to go into monster mode, correct?
Well, it depends, because if you have no boxes filled in and it gives you more, you now have
many.
you have the potential to have more rage to
Right.
spend.
You're engorged with rage at that point.
So if you have, it's probably best to hover somewhere in the middle if you don't
Gotcha.
ever
Right.
want to,
Okay.
like, spend it as you get it, and then...
Right. But
I
every
see.
time you roll, when I say roll your rage, you're rolling your permanent pool.
Right,
You're
Which
rolling
is
the
the 4.
circles.
Okay, I got 5. Okay, so I guess that's where I was getting confused because I'm like, okay, well,
It's kind of like a bonus for going. It's usually going to happen when you're going into combat.
Yeah.
You're going to get an extra point or two.
and then that gives us more to take off if we have to spend it.
Right.
Like you could spend it to get extra
Gotcha.
actions and stuff.
So basically, doing the cool stuff gives us more ability to rage.
Do
later.
cool stuff. Yes.
Okay,
Right.
I see. It makes sense. Like that makes more sense to me than.
and
yeah,
rage
boxes.
is easy to get back. It's
Yeah, you
comes
said it
pretty
was-
quick.
Yeah, anything.
every time you botch, you're going to get rage back. And I think if you botch a couple times in a row, you're going to get lots of it. So like if you roll something, you botch, and you roll again,
Oh,
you
so
botch.
since I botched twice, I didn't do anything. I've botched 3 times today. But
Your rage is full. We're just going to erase all your temporary ones you spent
hey.
because every
Yeah.
time you botch, you're getting points back.
Okay.
Anytime you're embarrassed, anytime you see the moon.
I'm,
And
I'm
it's kind of like
empty now.
as
No, you're full.
You're
You're full.
Right.
You have
you erase everything. You have all of the rage
the
there left to
squares.
spend.
Right.
Anything that you've marked off as sort of rage that you've spent it. You've already gotten it out
So
of your
being
system.
Full of
Right.
rage
Means that you have
no boxes.
No boxes marked. You have it all
Okay.
left to spend.
Because my brain is flipping that around.
And that's
where-
Yeah,
why
mine
I
too.
keep trying to rephrase
What you can do in the
that,
little
'cause
boxes is
yeah.
just put a check mark. That means you
Yeah.
used it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. That makes sense now, knowing that full means none.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
That's
Which means you haven't spent any in a while. And
I
your-
was thinking the opposite.
Yeah, so was I.
your bucket's full.
I
Right,
do the
you
same
have-
thing whenever I talk about
you are
baseball.
brimming over with that emotion.
Yes.
And as you mark it off, that emotion simmers down a little bit.
goes down.
Simmer down now.
Yeah.
Right.
Got it.
And you don't want to save it because if
Right.
you've got too much. If we were in a social setting, you were getting rage, we'd be checking for frenzy
Gotcha.
really easily.
Okay, this makes sense now.
All right.
Cool.
Pop. You guys are through. You're standing kind of around this individual as they have their hands out sort of to the group. And in a wave, the people closest to this person are screaming and yelling at the police across the street. And some are starting to pick up rocks. As you see farther away, people are getting more upset, but they're not as worked up as they are closest to this being, this creature, this individual.
I would like to put the being in a full Nelson.
All right. As you guys pop through, you're literally in front of it. It looks at you all like, what? And we're going to go into initiative. So it is your dexterity plus your wits, and then you roll one
Don't
die and
forget-
add it to it.
Still
You
minus
add
2.
Your chrono.
Your minus 2
Right,
does.
we're in
Chronos
Chronos.
phone.
-2 does not apply to this because you can't subtract dice from the one die that you're rolling, or does it come off the total?
You're rolling one
pool?
die?
Because you roll initiative by rolling one die and adding
Adding
the
the
total
rest
value.
into it. It would make sense.
It
Yeah,
might
that
take away from your total value. We're going to say it's reflexive.
Okay.
So it doesn't.
It would make sense.
As an
since you're only
option, you
rolling
guys
one.
can roll as a pack. The person with the highest can always roll for you all. It's up to you guys.
Already rolled.
Yeah.
Well, I'm rolling like crap, but I already rolled.
Okay.
Yeah, I also already rolled. I got a 16.
Holy shit!
I rolled an 8 and have in Krynos form. I have all the decks and some wits.
Dex is only +1, right?
Yeah, but my dex is already a 4.
Oh, I counted that wrong. All right, yeah. I just rolled really shitty. Had I
11.
rolled better? Oh, I just lost my number. 10. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
rolled
just-
a 2.
I say last time I think you both kicked my ass in initiative.
Right.
This time
well,
I just rolled well.
I was adding my stamina.
Ah.
I read my stamina numbers, not my dex. You know, like you do.
You do.
Like you do.
It's probably because I took my glasses off. 'Cause,
Did anyone get 15 or more?
I got 16.
16.
like wearing glasses with the headphones, they dig into my temples. I have a little head. They kind of put pressure on it.
14, 13, 12, 11.
I had 11. And then the lowly 10 over there.
Yeah, I'm pretty slow right now. It's okay.
All right, Blaze, what do you want to do?
It's probably 'cause I'm
Full Nelson.
Yeah, no, my first instinct is to attack it,
kick it in the balls if it has them.
but I don't really.
You don't want
not
to yet?
frenzied right now, and I don't really want to tear it apart. So no, I like the idea of just trying to wrestle it
Wrestle.
away from the crowd.
Okay. Are you going to grapple?
Yes.
Oh, are there grapple rolls?
There are grapple rolls. Strength plus
Neat.
brawl.
Strength and brawl.
Difficulty
Cool.
6.
Oh yeah, they have that little thingy back here. Okay.
Yeah, except it's wrong. They wrote
Oh.
it down as dex. It's strength and brawl. Everything else is dex and brawl.
What jerks did
I
that?
know,
Grapple,
right?
strength, and brawl?
Grapple is strength and brawl.
Well, jeez.
7.
We'd be really good at that right now.
3. Difficulty is 6. 6. I
You
think
can either choose a clinch or hold. Clinch is going to do damage. Hold is just going to immobilize.
clinch. I don't want to shred it, but I don't like it. I got 7 successes.
Okay, that hits. So basically, you're rolling your strength plus your rollovers.
Okay, what are my rollovers?
6.
Oh, all 6?
Yep.
It's not being resisted?
That would be 5. I'm sorry.
Okay.
One always takes it to.
Right, no, I got 7 successes, so it'd be
Yeah, 6.
it'd be down to 6. And then plus strength is... Don't
So
turn
yeah, you do. You're going to clinch and do damage right off the bat. So.
Yeah.
And then their turn, they get to resist.
Gotcha. Difficulty 6 still
Yes.
for damage. 10.
Killed it.
Bashing. Because clinching, no claws.
No claws? I
How
might
many
bite
did you
it.
get?
I got 10.
God.
I have a lot of strength right now. And I'm rolling really well. I only had 2 dice in that whole pile that didn't come up successes.
So whenever you grapple, keep your successes because that's my target
Okay.
number to beat.
This 7
7. Yeah.
was my total.
Does not break free. And I think it's just the same thing. You would clinch again and to get your extra damage, or yeah, because it would set the tone for the next turn for what they have to beat to get out of it. This thing, when you grab it, it feels unworldly strong. Like you go to squish it, and it's not really squishing; it's all solid. It tries to free, and then it screams, "Get him!" And at this point, all the people are not even looking at you; they're looking at the officers. They start tearing toward them. You do see a few officers up in the corner that are closest by see you all, and they take off running. And at that, when they take off running, it seems like the crowd, it just goes after them that much faster. And they're throwing bricks, they're throwing bottles, they're throwing whatever they can. But most of the crowd is not facing you at all. So they just take off running. It is Dax's turn.
Can I howl?
You can howl as a free action. She trumpets a howl.
Still -2 for health, right?
As she howls-
negative whatever.
Yes.
They all scream in unison as they're charging off in different directions. It's like they don't know. This crowd has been incited, and you howl. It's almost like someone doing like an air horn, and they just yell louder.
So they basically don't realize what it is. They just think it's like a battle cry.
Correct. They think it's a battle cry to them.
Okay.
What
I
would you like
tried.
to do, Dax?
Well, I'm going to bite him in the face.
Okay. Difficulty 5.
1.
That hits. So that is your strength plus 1. No roll over dice.
So while I'm not in a completely insane frenzy right now, I do remember they said something about not killing it, right?
Oh, no, they said kill it.
They said kill it?
If
okay.
you don't kill it, it's a terrible omen
Oh, okay.
for the whole year.
Right. I couldn't remember which way that had been said.
Oh yeah, I thought we just needed to capture it again.
3.
You see him chomp on it, and as his teeth hit it, it's like it's made out of marble. You don't do any damage to it at all. It almost hurts your teeth to clomp down on it.
Well, that sucked.
Abigail, you see him do this. It goes, and like it's like biting on a concrete wall.
Don't bite it.
Well, I think that I'm gonna leave you guys to it, and I'm gonna try to stop what's happening with the police / crowd.
Okay.
So my instinct is to try to get in between like a grouping of the officers and a
Okay.
grouping of the people to see if I can scare
Dexterity
them
and
out.
athletics.
I'm sorry, Dex.
Dex and athletics. Yep.
Okay.
Your Dex is plus 1 too, as well.
Difficulty?
I think it's just like a 6.
Is there such a thing as going to rip its head off?
2.
You know, like while you're holding it down, I can.
You leap 8 feet into the middle of this group of people that they're running, and the people behind you see you, and they start running back. They start like dispersing completely. But
Now-
there are still lots of people in front of you that are still running toward the police. You leapt kind of in the middle of them.
Can you growl instead of howl?
Yeah.
Like, can it be kind of like a very mean sounding, like brr, gurgly? Okay, I do that then.
Okay.
Just see if that maybe will get anybody's attention to turn around and
A
look at
few
me.
people do turn around, and you see about 4 or 5 people faint. Some others go catatonic. They fall to the ground and start shivering.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
I have, as a gift, I have infectious laughter, but
Okay.
I need to be able to talk to do that, correct?
I believe so.
Because it just, all it does is allow, it like, I just say something and it stops actions. Like, because they're laughing so hard at something I said. Man, if I wasn't going to be naked, I would just be perfect right now. If I was human. Like all of my
You must
abilities
make
are
a
from
comment
human.
mocking the present situation in which you find yourself, then laugh at it. Then you would roll manipulation expression, difficulty the highest rage of anyone listening, which wouldn't be very much. Success causes those who to hear it to lose their ire, forget what it was that just upset them in the first place.
Yeah,
Although their
'cause I
temper will return if they are reminded of what you have made them forget. You are also in Kronos form, so speaking to humans
won't
is
work.
not going to be real
Yeah,
easy.
because I have like persuasion, infectious
Right.
laughter, and inspiration. So if I
Those
was
are
a human
great.
right now,
Right.
it'd be perfect. But I don't want to be naked. But I
Right.
guess they probably wouldn't care, especially if I shifted it and then did infectious laughter, right?
Yeah.
I
You
might
could.
do that next turn.
Okay.
Let me think about it.
All right. Back to the top, Blaze.
After seeing how ineffective his biting was to this guy,
Right.
we
Like I
are.
said, it feels like you're trying to squish stone.
Although I don't like the idea of trying to give him up, so we're gonna try to squeeze him again
Okay. It's the same clinch strength.
and brawl.
Yep.
-2. 2
Two
successes,
successes.
which is better than the none that I had first.
You squeeze real hard and you don't feel you're compressing it at all.
Yeah.
But you only got, how many did you get to succeed?
That was my 2
Oh,
successes
okay.
to succeed.
Then, sorry, roll your strength
Oh,
plus
and
one.
then strength plus
Sorry.
1 is 5.
Did do a little damage. Okay.
And then that's set at 2 for.
With that, it opens up and you think its wings are there, pops open, and it knocks you backwards as it stands free. And it almost seems to sort of glow, but it's a weird glow. It's not like a heavenly golden glow. It's more like a red and inflamed sort of aura coming off this thing.
Okay.
You see this like you're kind of backing up, going, I guess, into a claw again, and you see this thing start to glow. What's your willpower? Your total pool?
9.
It looks at you in the face because you're right there, and it says, "You should rebel against them." I got 3 successes, and all of a sudden, that's all you feel like doing. Like it just reverberates in your head. You should rebel against them. 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 However you want to take that. Is that being in a pact? Is that fighting with them? Is that attacking the people that are here, or is it attacking the police? How would Dax rebel at this point? But all of a sudden, the fire in your chest to do the opposite of whatever you're expected to do at this point. I'll leave that up to you.
I'm going to spend a Gnosis, go into Ice Echo.
You could spend 3 willpower points to try and negate this if you have them, because it's pretty intense.
Yes.
Okay.
Bent. Can I also go into Ice Echo?
Yes.
All right.
What is
Remind me
that?
what that does.
So there's 2 groups of people running off, one going to one side, one to the other, right?
Some of the basically
Yeah.
the whole thing just starts to move. So they're moving in all directions away from you because you're at the epicenter.
Okay, so Ice Echo, I get to create an image of myself that moves like me, but it's 100 feet away.
Oh,
I'm
neat.
going to project that image into the crowd, the opposite crowd that she is in.
Okay.
And then I want to attack him.
Okay. How far away? 100 feet?
100 feet.
You're right in the middle between the clash. She jumped about 50 feet. Well, she jumped about 8 feet, so you're kind of in the middle.
I can go up to 100 feet. So
If you want it right between them,
I wanna
it looks
go
like
in-
the police are getting ready to
yeah, I want to go between them.
clash.
with
All of
that-
a sudden,
with
off
Ice
to the
Echo.
side, you would see a shimmering form of him in Kronos form appears, and people start losing their mind.
Like losing their mind or running away because they're scared.
The police start like shaking their heads and trying to look at this thing. The crowd that's running at them goes fetal. Like they all sort of start collapsing, and some sort of primal terror takes over.
Good. That's a good thing.
At this point, there are you see like tear gas is being launched into the square at this point, and it starts to smoke a little bit. Anything else you want to do?
I'm going to body tackle him.
Okay. I think it's a grapple to do that. No,
Body
it's not.
tackles,
Where's the
Dex
body
and
tackle?
brawl.
Brawl, 7.
So 1.
One does it. He's not resisting. So it's your strength and bashing.
It's special B.
Dex and athletics, difficulty 6.
Dex and athletics is the special.
Yeah.
And then do I get +1 for the success? For
Actually,
the original?
this is what it is for the tackle. So this, instead of rolling what you just rolled, the Dex and Brawl, it's Dex and Athletics, difficulty 6 for the attacker, and my difficulty is 6 plus whatever successes you get on this.
All right.
And you can spend a willpower point if you want.
No. 2.
2? Okay, neither one of you botched. He got more than you. He got 4 successes. He got 2 8s and 2 10s. Okay, so you basically crashed into him and bounced off, suffering the opponent's stamina and damage. I think his stamina is 8.
Did I just kill myself?
No. So 4 levels of damage. If you want to soak it, I'm going to let you soak it.
Stamina.
Plus you're in Chronos form, so you get 3 extra.
Yeah. 6, right? Yeah.
Correct.
5.
So you got it. You ran into this thing, bounced off, and soaked the damage. It was like trying to tackle a statue. And it looks to you kind of strange because it wasn't expecting this sort of thing from the attack it did on you. Abigail.
We have to find a new way to beat this thing.
I'm going to shift to Hamid.
Okay.
Be naked in front of everybody.
Okay. Now remember, the people that were behind you running towards you have all kind of collapsed. The people on the other side are all running toward the police, and tear gas is starting to be fired.
So is that a free action, though, to shift?
To shift, yeah.
Okay, so I could jump again and then
Correct.
shift. Okay, see, I wasn't sure I could do that in the same. So I'll do that. I'll try to jump ahead again.
Dex and athletics. And you probably want to spend a rage point to do more actions once you have leapt to the other side if you're planning on doing more.
Okay, so I've got 2 again.
Okay. That
Two
is
is my
another
magic number.
8 feet. So you jump and take a running jump at the middle of this group again.
So I'm taking 1 off when
Yep,
I'm
you
spending
would
a
do
rage, correct?
Check mark, yeah.
Oh, I'm adding 1.
Because the dots you never change except for with experience
Right,
points.
right. I just wanted to make sure I've been
The circles.
right. Okay, so I'm going to shift once I land.
That's free.
Okay. Well, did anybody pass out when they saw me before? Or am I doing it in midair?
You could do it midair if you want.
But am I going to land pretty, like, human-y? Like,
Since
dying
it's a free action, you could do it kind of at the
last
when
second.
you're landing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll do that, and I'll end up naked.
Okay.
And
Spend a rage point to do anything else to talk.
Yes.
Now you can't spend Gnosis in this turn to activate anything, and if it requires it, that's the bad thing.
Does infectious laughter? I didn't think it required it.
It might not. Nope, I think that's it.
Okay, so what do I roll?
You would roll your manipulation plus expression. Difficulty is the highest. Rage of anyone listening. Say it's going to be a 4. For humans, that's pretty crazy. Success is called those who hear your comment and laughter to lose their ire and forget what it was they would upset them in the first place.
An expression? Oh, there it is. Okay. Difficulty?
4.
Oh my gosh. I've got 5.
5. You stop the majority of people around you, and there's gasping. So some of the people in front kind of turn around and look, and you point out how ridiculous this is if everyone else was naked or something like that.
Yeah.
And they all stop, and they start giggling and laughing.
What about any cops or anything like that?
Up ahead, you've cleared out to, there's probably about 20 people that are still heading toward the police that haven't seen you, but they're still, the police are ready for them. They're sort of bracing for this.
Okay, well, I'm
run.
hoping that everybody
But
hears the laughter.
There's a good 30 or 40 people behind you that have stopped. Some people are still kind of crying from when they saw you before. But
Woo! Many
So-
emotions I'm throwing around.
I
over
wasn't
here.
sure by what you meant when you said, were there any cops that were watching?
Well, just to see if I could like not kill, but like drop the mood of
Right.
everybody was why I wanted that to happen.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Not because I thought I was going to get arrested, because they just laugh at me. So.
Oh, that's not what I meant.
Oh.
Like you wanted the cops to see you
Well, I did. So they.
in a nice way.
Oh. Are you staring at my hands?
well, say you could try it again because you got a lot of people laughing right now. So the next turn we can amplify that or keep using
Okay.
that. So we're back to Blaze.
I'll start doing naked cartwheels. It's not as funny because I'm not a dude.
No.
I'm going
You can helicopter
to,
during that.
I'm actually going to spend a rage and a round to activate my razor claws.
Okay. As you're
Which
getting up.
basically just means I'm like next to the brick building going
Yeah.
for a
Ooh.
round, sharpening them.
Okay.
I don't like that. Ugh. It's giving me the chills thinking about it.
I'm glaring.
We could
at-
say you can get up on your haunches and be like dragging them across the concrete path, and it's making a very, very terrifying nails on chalkboard sound.
Yeah. Sparks are
Say it.
starting to fly.
Sparks
the
and
longer
everything.
I
Yep.
do it.
All right. Any rage points to do anything else this turn?
No.
Okay. This thing turns around. You backed off. You tried to hit it. You fell on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to reach for you and try to grab you. So it's going to be a grapple.
Reaching for Dex or
Reaching for Dax. Yeah.
Thanks, yeah.
It doesn't seem to be trying to do damage, but it grabs a hold of you again. So it pulls you to it and sort of grabs your arms at your side. And you're taller than it, so it's a very weird looking vice grips you. And it smiles. It's your turn. So to break free, you would have to do your strength and brawl and make 4 successes at a difficulty 6. Oh, then you have to score 2 more successes than the attacker scored. So you have to make 6 successes.
And I'm still down because of my
-2,
wounds. Oh man. Here, 6 out of 7.
Can I spend a willpower point?
Yes, I'll spend 1.
Okay.
I got 5.
Oh,
Plus your willpower.
That was plus the willpower.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay. He struggles and strains, and it just like you feel like you're going to get free, and it slowly closes your arms back down. Take a rage point for that. And do you bark, howl, whimper? I mean, this is
I'm just gonna
growl.
I'm just gonna snarl at him with that one raised lip kind of thing. Do the
You hear the
Elvis
snarling.
on.
It is Abigail's turn. You want to do your persuasion thing again?
Yeah.
Manipulation and subterfuge.
Oh, you told me expression.
Expression, then, sorry. Difficulty 4 again. Do you want to run forward as you're doing it, or
Yeah.
move forward into the group?
I'm laughing maniacally at the fact that I'm naked in front of everybody.
Hey, you. Hey, look at me, or something like that.
Yeah.
Waving your arms around.
That is 4.
4 successes.
I'm really good at this.
It does again. About more than half of the group that's in front turn around, and you say your line again, and they start snickering and laughing. People are dropping the bottles they have and the rocks and the bricks and stuff like that. You see a few of the police officers start chuckling as well. Like they're all ready, and they kind of stop, and some put their shields down and start laughing and like poking and pointing at you. Back to the top of the round, Blaze.
And now that I have some
Terrifying claws.
razor sharp claws, and he has my packmate in a vice grip.
Yeah.
We're gonna go in for just flavor wise. We're going for a disabling strike. I'm gonna try to get one of his arms,
Okay.
do as much damage as I can to like his biceps.
I think that would be a hamstring.
Get him, Blaze.
Well, I mean it's a claw attack, but
To actually disable, though, that would be a special
right. No, I
maneuver, which you can start with one, but the others have to be taught to you. So
right.
this will
No,
be your
I
one gimme.
but would it still be a claw damage? Because I just want to if it wouldn't be, that's just flavor.
Okay. That is a special maneuver.
Because I think the razor claws only gives me the bonuses to the claw attacks specifically.
Basically, your hamstring. I'd say just go in for a regular.
Yeah, that's just kind of where I'm aiming. I got 2 successes to hit.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, and then damage wise, 8,
8.
and it's aggravated, obviously.
5 get through. This thing winces, and when it does, it lets go of Dax as you're on its arm and basically pull it off, because he had 5 successes out of 6 to break free. You land on your feet in front of this thing. It spins to you and reaches out to grab you as well. Good grief. 6 successes.
Oh, okay. I don't have anything to dodge with.
It's not clinching, it just reaches out and grabs you. Dax.
I'm gonna kick it in the gut.
So it's going to be lethal damage.
2.
2 hits.
2 6. Yes, 2 to hit.
Strength +1 +1.
4.
3, so 1 turn. It flinches when you do it, but it's got its eyes locked on her. We are at Abigail. I think one more turn, you'll have everybody on this sort of side.
Kind of
within-
looking at me.
Right.
Okay, I'll
Stopped.
keep going then.
What's going on with the ice echo over there? Does it only last for a turn?
It went up in the air, and you growled and snarled. It's not moving anywhere, though. It's like you've
Right,
got a
yeah.
mirror image
Yeah.
farther out.
Yeah.
So the people you affected around stopped. Some of the police stopped, and no one else is moving toward it.
Sure.
You also could have been doing your enhanced senses to track as well, which would have been extra.
That would have helped. I had forgotten I had that.
It's going to keep going for the rest of the scene until you guys stop the fight, pretty much.
Does it? So it can't move.
It does the exact same thing he's doing. It's just off in the distance.
Oh, that's pretty.
So while he
creepy.
hasn't moved really anywhere from where it started,
So it's
but when he
staying.
got lifted up, it suddenly lifted up out of the air too.
Gotcha. Okay, 5.
This time, the police, everybody around, they're all laughing and howling at what's going on. It's all dispersed. A lot of the police have put their shields down. Their weapons are all lowered. People have dropped all the rocks and sticks and stuff they had, and they're just kind of laughing and slapping each other on the back, and they're kind of looking around like, what are we doing? Why are we here? What's going on?
And I only get 1 action, right? That's it.
Yep.
Okay.
Blaze.
Can I claw at him without trying to break the grapple?
Yes.
Then I do that.
Difficulty 6. Wait. I think he's immobilized you
Oh.
with that because he's either immobilization or damage.
Okay, so I would have to.
Successes you've got to break.
So I would have to break the grapple. Okay.
I'd say go ahead and roll your strength and your claw, but you have to beat 6 successes to have anything go through at all.
Okay. In that case, I will try to break free instead of clawing because I don't actually have that many dice to hit right now.
Okay.
With wound penalties and things, I've got higher strength than Dex. So Dex and Brawl to break free.
Yes. Difficulty 6.
I got 2 successes.
2 over the 6.
No, I just got.
Okay.
Oh wait, right.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
I just got a total
2.
of 2 successes. That's what I got.
Take a rage point for that. You're
Okay.
caught and frustrated and growling viciously. At the struggle, you see his eyes sort of close down a little bit, and then he's going to go in and try and do an actual clinch.
Okay.
4 successes. So remember the 4 to break next turn. And this is bashing damage, 7.
Soaked with straight stamina.
Yep. As he puts his other arm on your other shoulder and starts to compress your shoulders together, which again, this looks weird because she's gigantic compared to it or him or her.
Difficulty is. I don't think it matters. I got 3 successes.
3 successes.
Yeah. So I take 3 total. I couldn't remember. what
3
you said.
bashing.
3 bashing. I am incapacitated.
You see her and slumps to nothing and reverts to Hamid form, I believe.
Yes. And
Automatically.
is naked.
So this thing went, all of a sudden she's slumped to nothing. It lets her go. She falls to the ground hard as you're dropped from being up here.
Which will kill me?
It rolls up to the top and starts going
Oh, you're right.
lethal. So it looked like an axe.
Does the higher
Bashing
damage
is always a
right,
slash, and
Is
then the
it
other
right?
one's
But the higher damage, the heavier
Correct.
damage gets pushed down, or does
Correct.
it? No, the heavier damage stays on top, and then it.
Correct. Right.
So my 4 lethal stay up at the top, and then the bashing under that becomes lethal. 4 aggravated stays
Right.
up.
And when the lethal reaches the bottom, that's when
That's when I die.
Your rage.
I have 5 lethal currently. It's no good.
Right. and
Ditto.
that's-
All right.
I have 4 aggravated.
You
and
take a
1
rage
lethal
point from
and then
seeing this
2
happen.
bashing.
Did I already give that to you?
Nope.
Take a rage point. Your friend, your pack mate, just looks like it's been crushed to death or killed. Seeing red.
And then a pretty little petite redhead gets dropped to the ground, and her skull sounds like it cracks a little bit.
I mean, it thumped. Howl?
Guess I will howl.
You hear a howl, like a panicked, pissed off howl.
Okay.
And it makes you turn around and you see her on the ground and him like
Charging.
charging and shaking. She's naked, human, and it looks like she's bleeding a little bit.
Okay.
It's hard to tell. Same color as her hair, but you know.
And
I'm just not going to be very useful in a fight.
I'm going to try to punch him.
Okay.
I wasn't real. I knew where I was at. I was going to take 1 hit and go
Punch
down,
or
but
claw?
Punch.
Okay.
That's my character anyway. So.
2.
Yeah, I'm just
2
gonna
successes
do it
hit.
Yes.
I'll
Thing is,
see if-
punching is only going to do bashing damage to it. It's knockout damage.
Meaning you should probably start clawing it or biting it. Well, you bit already and nothing happened.
Did. May I switch that to claw? I will
Yeah.
switch that to claw.
Generally, when
Same-
you're in Chronos, it's either bite or claw. There's no
no-
not a lot of. I mean, clenching is okay, but there's
Yeah.
not much else
All right.
outside of that.
Claw still had 2 though.
Okay. It's 2 successes. They roll over strength plus 2,
Yep. 3, 4, 5, 6.
where a punch would have been just straight strength.
Right.
So plus 3.
2.
Damn.
I'm rolling beautifully today.
Nothing goes through. Abigail, you
Okay.
gain a rage seeing your packmate
Yeah.
slump to the ground.
So
Would
I'm
you like
going
to spin that to change?
Well, I'm going to switch to inspire first,
Okay.
and I'm going to try to inspire the crowd into also attacking this thing,
Okay.
especially the cops with guns. Just saying. I'm not 100% sure how that. I have persuasion and inspiration. I'm not really sure which one I'm going to need for the situation.
Spend a gnosis point, all comrades, but not the gifts user receive 1 willpower point, which disappears if not used. So basically, you would use it to inspire your fellow packmates.
So I need persuasion then.
Inspiration is going to bolster your pack.
No, I know,
These
but
folks out here aren't going to. It's not going to do anything.
I also have persuasion.
Oh.
Is what I'm saying. So should I use that instead on the? That's why I was asking because I knew that it worked on you guys. I didn't know if it would work on people.
See, player rolls your. It imbues the Hamid's word with intrinsic credibility, conviction, causing them to ring true in the ear and lay heavy on the heart. You would roll your charisma and subterfuge, difficulty 7. Lower successes lower the difficulty for all social rolls by 1 for the rest of the scene, and allows successful rolls to have uncommonly strong impact, such as changing long-held political beliefs or causing an addict to seriously reconsider the course of their life. So this is like a talk you're having with people.
So doesn't really sound like it would incite violence.
Now, if you had a microphone and you were talking to a group and they were all there kind of captive, like if you were running for office, this would be perfect because they're all sort of
Focused.
listening to you anyway, and you're.
I just
you're
figured everybody was already
persuading.
looking at me.
A lot of these people are cracking up still.
Okay.
They're goofing around and laughing.
Yeah, I guess I'll shift.
Okay.
I'm just gonna die.
You gonna spend a rage point?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a new scene, though. You can almost die again, right? That happened.
Yeah, it is a totally new scene, so you
not
can do the
scene,
rage
but one-
heal.
Or is it story? Or
I
is
think
it?
it's per scene.
I thought, or session. It might have been session.
So I guess I'll jump towards them.
Yes.
What's the difficulty?
This would be you're going to split your dice pool to run and get there. So if you want to, however you want to do it, or you want to spend rage points to spend a rage point and move that fast. That's what we did wrong last time.
Okay.
There you go. On that movement thing we did, we had you do willpower. You spend a rage point and you would
Are
basically
instantly
move.
there. Okay, I'll do that.
It's basically you're buying another.
But I'm at my
dice
last
pool.
one.
Okay.
So is that a bad thing?
Nope.
Okay.
There is something that happens when you do spend your rage, but it's not terrible.
I mean, I have 5, and I've checked 5 boxes.
Right.
So if I go over, or is it if I spend
You just
the
run.
other
I
don't know.
two? To hit his strength,
This eraser.
to hit his dex.
To hit his dex.
Yes. Don't spend that last one just yet.
Okay.
If the character has lost or spent all his rage and willpower points, he has lost the wolf. You cannot regain rage. You shift to breed form, and you must regain your willpower, at least 1 willpower point before recovering any rage. But that would have to be you to spend everything.
So as long as you still have some willpower left,
Yeah.
you're okay.
I have plenty of willpower left, so
I've spent so much willpower.
Yeah, me too.
I'm instantly there.
So you're instantly there for the rage point. You spend a whole dice pool, and you can attack at your full.
I just
Basically,
feel like I
you spend
want-
your basic pool to get up there. Spend a rage point to do an attack at
Okay.
your full dice pool.
We will do that. Difficulty to bite,
Bite is 5.
4.
Okay. 3 roll over to your strength plus 1 damage. Your strength is elevated for being in Kronos.
But I'm -2.
That doesn't apply to strength.
Doesn't yeah.
Or
not
damage.
damage. Yeah.
Rather.
So what am I looking for on these rolls?
6.
5.
Nice. You actually take a chunk out of it. It rolled shitty for its soak, and that's what it got you on. It rolled like 8 soak on
Yeah.
your damage bite. So you see her take a chunk out of it, which renews your like, I can actually bite this thing. It goes back to Blaze, who is laying on the ground unconscious. Do you want to spend a rage point to remain active?
Oh, yeah, I can do that, can't I?
Yes.
Then yes.
Can't you rage heal too?
If she's incapacitated with lethal damage, I believe that's when that kicks in.
Right. Which will only take 2 more points of damage. It's fine. But I don't like this thing, and I want it to die.
So you blink open, and you see this thing. She's now biting into it.
What is it to instantly shift? Because I'm back to
A rage
human.
point.
Okay.
Or it would be your stamina, primal urge, difficulty 6.
I'll go ahead and
Wait, yeah, that's right.
use the rage. Is my gift lasted for the scene? Is that still going, or
Yes.
because of the shift?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If it was a mental gift, it would probably gone, but it's a physical.
So
You
that
sharpen
it's
your
still there
claws.
when the change happens again. Okay. Yeah, I was going to leave that one to you because I'm like, that could go either way. In that case, I'm going to claw it out.
Okay.
Claw it again. Now that I'm not being held, although I am at -5, so aren't I?
You are pretty hurt, yeah.
Fuck.
And you want to spend another rage point to ignore.
I don't have another rage point to spend, which means that I should roll to change instead of instantly changing
That would be a good
to
idea.
save the rage.
Yeah.
I did not think about that. And so it's stamina and primal
urge.
It's still -5 though.
But do you have any willpower?
No.
No.
Oh, if you fall below incapacity,
No.
levels, you can use a rage to keep going.
Uh-huh.
Doing so requires a rage roll difficulty 8.
Oh, okay, I had to roll.
I mean, even if you get
This is
one.
it. Yeah, you do this no matter what damage you've
Whatever
taken.
it took you down, this
You're
is
going to
what
get a scar.
keeps you going. But I couldn't
Each
do it
success
again.
heals a level,
Oh, but I do heal.
a full level, no matter what.
Again, is this a reflexive roll, or does those -5s count?
It's reflexive.
Okay, so rage.
Oh, so you're rage healing now?
Yeah,
right.
she's
When I
right.
spent that rage, this is automatically happens. So
Gotcha. Yeah, I was gonna say even if you only go up to the next level, you at least have some pluses.
Right.
Right.
1.
1 success. You heal 1. And you're awake.
And I'm awake.
And you will get some sort of battle scar for this.
Okay. Well, it doesn't really help me get back into fighting shape.
This thing is a little chewed up.
Problem is, I'm still at -5s, but that only applies to the hitting, and so far he hasn't been trying to dodge.
If you
But if I take another hit, I die.
heal, if you
Wait,
pause a turn
I heal.
to heal,
Hang on, every turn I'm healing.
right, the
Bashing
one
damage.
Correct. Bashing and lethal damage.
Son of a bitch.
Since it's under stress, though, I think you have to roll to actually do that.
Okay.
Health
Then I need to... It's only been one turn since I went down,
Right.
right? So this would be the first time that I would heal anyway. Wait, which means that I might not have to spend that rage point.
That is true. You would
Because
wake up.
I would automatically wake up this turn anyway.
We will retcon that.
Okay. Sorry. New system.
So, Blaze, it's your turn. You heal.
I heal
one
my
level.
incapacitated bashing, so I'm still crippled, but I'm awake. I'm
And
going...
for realizing what happened, take another rage point.
Huh?
For realizing what has happened, it knocked you out.
Okay.
Take a rage point.
Well, and then I'm going to immediately spend it to shift.
Okay.
And I'm not frenzying. I am angry. I'm actually going to change tactics because both of these guys are now attacking this thing.
Yes. She's bitten into it. He's clawing at it. Correct.
And she subdued half of the crowd,
Right.
but the other half is
The other half on the other
partially
side
over
is-
there
right.
still. So I'm actually going to activate another gift,
Okay.
Hair's Leap, and
Does it-
jump into the middle of that crowd.
Okay. Does it require a gnosis point?
It doesn't. It's
Okay.
strength and athletics that I have to roll, and then it turns on.
Okay.
And even with
Somebody's
-5s, I
double-
still have dice to roll. But this will just let me jump far enough in one, basically, to get out there.
Okay.
I succeed.
Okay.
And I just want to land in the middle of a crowd.
So vertical would be your.
It's more of a horizontal. I'm trying to, well, are we up a little bit?
I'm sorry. It's horizontal. It's
Yeah, horizontal. Yeah, it's
So
distance.
you're jumping 5 feet per success on your jumping roll.
Oh, that was reflexive. I did not actually have
Correct.
dice off of that pool. Not that it mattered. 5 extra dice, no successes on those dice. So I had...
Jumping is basically a 3 difficulty. So
Okay.
she would have jumped farther than before. Unless
Okay.
it's hazardous or slippery or something like that.
But this is my actual jump roll that
Correct.
is
You
not
activated your charm.
reflexive. I activated the charm.
Your gift,
How
I'm sorry.
many? Yeah, gift. Right. And it's
5
and
feet
jumping
per
is
success.
strength plus athletics.
And athletics. Yep. Difficulty's 3.
Okay. Which means I got 4 successes.
So times 10, 40 feet.
So I can jump
40 yards.
40
Oh,
yards.
it's 40 feet.
40 feet in a standing jump. Yeah, I'm aiming for the middle of a crowd that's still
Okay.
worked up.
Then you would jump a little bit east to their sort of clashing with police, and there is a lot of tear gas that's being deployed at this moment. They didn't fire at you guys, but it's sort of wafting this way.
Okay.
All right, your people the police sort of look at you with a strange curiosity, and the people that were flowing toward the police officers see you, and they start to attack you. They get enraged and go berserk, basically.
No.
There's about 6 people around you that sort of come at you with clubs and arms and rocks.
I was hoping they would do the thing where they go catatonic.
I rolled just a basic delirium effect.
Yep. No, it's cool.
I mean, clubs are better than
They're probably still going
that
to do less damage
thing,
than
yeah.
that thing. I'm hoping.
I'm hoping to.
Yeah.
Just for your sake.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not going to give them much. 1 attack misses. Yeah, punch and kick.
Well, as long as they're attacking me, they're not attacking the cops.
That's true.
2 people hit. 1 person botches. Hits the person next to them. 1, 2, 4. It's another hit. Another hit. 5 hits.
Okay.
1 does 4 damage bashing.
I take 1 of those, which means I'm incapacitated again.
Soak another 1. Automatic. It's reflexive.
Oh,
Because the others are still beating.
and this all happens simultaneously, so the change in form wouldn't happen right
It's
away?
reflexive. yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How much am I soaking?
1.
Yeah, I got that.
The next one hits you pretty square on. Roll your soak.
Difficulty is
6.
6. I got 3.
Take 2 more.
Okay, hang on. So I took 1 bashing from the first hit, and there's
None for the second. Third one.
will kill me.
So you go down to lethal.
I'm incapacitated at lethal.
Then this is your rage
Oh,
remaining
right,
active.
because I didn't do that. Ha-ha!
This is the
Reflexive rage roll.
yes. one person botched and hit 2 of the other people next to him. Blaze spends a willpower point to get a success on her remaining active roll and heals up 1 level. So how many willpower points do you have right now?
That's
It's
my
the
last one.
And how many rage points do you have right now?
Total or
Leftover, temporary.
oh temporary? Did that actually cost me a rage?
That does
too.
cost 1, yeah.
So I have 1 left.
Okay. You feel yourself depleted with no willpower left. Characters are exhausted and unable to summon their inner strength to perform their duties. They will not care what happens to them since they have no willpower to go on. Achieving a personal victory, performing auspice duties, or your nature, which is surviving.
Right, which means that I'm running away.
Okay.
Which is a totally plausible thing.
Whenever you survive a threatening situation through tenacity, or when your counsel causes someone else to persist in the sight of opposition, you will gain willpower. So you could either run away or you could get through this and win. That is your choice. But you feel pretty blah
I say,
about the
as
whole
depleted on willpower, I want to run away.
thing. Okay. She takes off in a random direction. Full Krynos.
Oh, you didn't shift? Oh, because you didn't die. Or
Right.
get incapacitated. Okay, cool. Makes sense.
We are to them.
Them or the angel?
When I do this,
Demon.
all the opponents are on one. Otherwise,
Just to make
we'd
it
be rolling
easier.
Yeah.
tons. That's kind of like a pack mentality.
Sure.
You bid it. You are somewhere behind it.
Okay.
I probably came from behind it, though. I probably bit it from behind because I was running from the...
Well, it dropped her.
I was in
You
front
showed
when
up.
it dropped her.
It attacked you, dropped you, and then she attacked it, and it turned around and grabbed her. And then
When it grabbed her, I kicked it.
That's
did
true.
kick it.
He did kick it.
Right in the noggin.
He was
Noggin.
aiming for the nuts, which,
We don't know if it has them.
it's true.
That is
don't
But
true.
know.
I'm not going to lie, getting kicked there as a girl does hurt.
Yeah.
It's not as bad.
There's a lot of pelvic bone there.
This thing is
Yeah.
going to swing back and basically punch at you.
It's bruisey.
6, 7.
Dax?
At you, Dax. Yeah.
Soak it, baby. That's our team name.
Grief. 5 successes.
I can only roll 5.
I
Ouch.
5 out of 7 dice.
How is your
Do you want to spend a willpower point to
auto success
to
one?
dodge? This is at the dodge phase.
Yes, I will
Okay.
dodge.
It looks like you're answering a Jeopardy question whenever you...
Do you want to spend a
Yes.
rage point to do this?
To
Do a full
to basically get the extra action.
so dexterity and dodge.
yeah.
Difficulties is 6, I believe.
And your negatives do count.
Yep.
Wah, wah. That's why I was like, fuck it, I'm not splitting my dice pool. It's pointless.
Is there no
Dex and dodge.
Dex and athletics then?
Athletics. Sorry. And my willpower point
Yes.
3.
So 2 get the one rolls over.
That's less than 5.
It is less than 5.
Was that a dodge, though?
Right.
But you also get to soak.
right
This
afterwards.
is the soak coming
Yeah.
up.
But
4 levels of damage. Is it? It's bashing damage, which isn't terrible, but it could eventually crush your skull.
incapacitate you
Yeah.
and cause you damage.
It's going to be bad.
Well, you get to soak
This is
some.
your full pool.
Yeah, there's no negatives to
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
Difficulty 6.
And don't forget you're at a plus
I would
3.
say that's your stamina in Krynos.
No, my stamina is 5.
So you have 8 dice to soak with when you're in Krynos.
Oh yeah, I forgot the 3. Yeah. Hey, it didn't matter though. I soaked
We're
2.
trying to help.
Yeah,
Wow.
I
So 3
soaked
levels of
3
bashing
levels
damage
of
to just 1 slash down.
So when you get lethal damage, it brings it up to the star immediately,
That's
right?
an X. Oops.
But
Yeah,
if
but
you get lethal on top of
a bashing?
does it turn into aggravated? I don't think it does that.
Bashing goes down and it hits incapacity.
Or maybe it
starts
does.
back over and does another X down.
You said
Okay.
you said 4, right?
Right, but if you add lethal on,
3 go through.
but if you're full up on bashing and you take a lethal, does it turn into
It's
an
at the top.
aggravated?
It's at the top, and then another one goes.
Do
Like if
they-
you take lethal, go all the way down, and then start taking aggravated out.
Right.
No, it's lethal and you're dead. Aggravated, it doesn't transfer up to aggravated.
Okay.
So if you have all bashing, you're knocked out. You have 1 lethal, and
Right.
you're hit with more lethal, then it gets knocked down, and those bashing that get bumped down turn into lethal as well.
Oh, it just doubles up on the.
It gets worse.
That's right.
I
Okay.
believe I'm incapacitated.
Yes, you are
Yes.
incapacitated,
Oh, yes.
but
You're-
not dead.
You've checked it off.
But with a bashing.
He slumps to the ground.
Again,
Your
naked
turn,
human guy.
Right, your turn. Yeah, you shrink back to human. You heal up, so that incapacitated is gone. You're still at -5. You're kind of laying there. Tear gas starts rolling in. Your eyes start burning. Your nose starts burning. Everyone's awake. Abigail.
I guess I'll attack.
You take 2 rage points as you see her take off and you see him slump to
So
the
what
ground.
happens if it goes... Oh, Like I
You're-
erased you.
Then
Right.
you, I erased
Right.
2. So you get 2 back.
Just making sure I'm understanding this.
Yep.
Okay, so then I am going to attack it.
Do you want to spend rage points to get extra actions in this turn? You can
Yes.
spend up to half of your rage.
I'll
your
do one-
permanent pool.
1, just in case I die. Just with that extra
Bite
one.
claw.
Both, yeah.
Okay. Which do you want to do? Bite for one and claw for the other, or okay.
So that's
Dex and Brawl?
Which one are you? Yeah.
Which one do you do first?
Bite.
Okay. Difficulty 5.
1.
That's all it takes. Strength plus 1.
And my negatives don't come off this one.
Right.
Correct.
Strength plus 1.
Correct.
And that's it? Just strength? Okay.
Right.
Just want to make sure I understood that. And what's my difficulty?
6.
5.
That's pretty good.
So if you had to roll well on one of those rolls,
That was the one to roll.
I should say on only one of those rolls.
Okay. Your next is your claw. Difficulty 6.
4.
They all hit. So 3 roll over. So it's strength plus 2 plus 3. And your strength is plus 4 because you're in Kronos.
I have a low strength normally, so
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.
5 again.
5 is my magic number. 5 and 2.
Dex, you're awake now. You're on the ground. Do you want to sit here and do another healing?
Yes.
Okay, because if you
Can
get
I
up and do anything
also-
else, you would have to roll to see if you actually heal.
Say that again.
If you wanted to get up and be active and try to heal, you would have to roll.
And what do I roll again, please?
I think it's your stamina, difficulty 8.
Stamina.
I remember it's higher.
Nope.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit out around.
Wait, does
Make
he
a reflexive
automatically heal
stamina,
in-
so it's your full stamina in
But does-
human form.
Does it in human form?
Difficulty 8.
1.
So you heal up 1 level.
And if I have an X, it takes off just 1.
It's either
No,
the
but I mean,
stars
it's
don't
a
come
full.
off.
Right, stars
Yeah,
don't.
full box.
Oh, really? It's a full box.
Right.
Like, it just goes.
Yeah.
Unless it's
Anything less than aggravated.
All right.
And how does healing work? So I could be healing this whole time, technically. It would just be a more difficult roll.
As long as it's not aggravated. Because the aggravated damage you can't roll to heal that way.
Right.
Got
But
it.
everything else you can, all the slashes and all the X's.
I think I have all stars. I was hit with acid.
You're still left over from the last.
Yeah.
slider thing.
We didn't have time to heal, so I can't heal.
What do you do?
I sat and.
You heal up automatic. It's
It's like a survival thing.
Oh.
Like an
so you're
insane.
not spinning any
All right.
dice pool to do this.
Then I'm going to spend a rage.
Okay.
And go into Hispo.
Okay. Or do you want to just roll your stamina and primal urge?
Oh, you'd have
It's
to
not
s-
going to get me there.
Yeah, because he's at
With my-
negatives.
Yeah.
He's so negative that.
Okay.
Yep.
Why Hispo? Just out of
Hispo or
curiosity.
Kronos?
Because my dex is low. So, and
Okay.
to attack, I need more dex.
Ah, got it.
Okay. You instantly shift.
All right.
You still have your pool to attack,
Then,
your normal pool.
Then I am going to claw.
Okay.
Dex.
You have an extra bite damage in Hispo.
Oh, I do?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, then I will bite. I will bite his androgynous crotch.
So Dex plus Brawl plus 1. Difficulties of 5.
5.
Damn.
Okay. So this is your strength plus 1 plus 4. And this does not get subtractions from it.
6.
All right. This thing is looking pretty bad as he clamps down onto it. And this is very satisfying to sink your teeth into it as you
Yeah,
didn't
after
do
I hit it
previously.
with it's like marble.
Abigail.
I hit it with 1. Okay, so I'm biting, by the way.
Difficulty 5?
So that 1 carries over? Or no,
Oh,
I
I'm
have
sorry.
to spend
It's your
it.
strength plus 1
Okay.
by itself. I'm sorry.
4, and
Difficulty
2,
6.
and then that. 5.
5.
Gosh, I keep rolling 5. You did say difficulty 5s on to hit.
6 on
6.
damage.
Oh,
6 on
okay,
damage.
so 3. I'm sorry.
It soaked it.
4.
1 went through.
I didn't see that 6.
The being,
I'm probably going to die. Here we go. Yay.
you bit it really good.
I bit
That's
it.
a-
You bit it really
barely
good.
did.
But I bit it 3 times in a row now.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I clawed, bit. It's probably pissed. I'm just saying.
Although he thought he had him killed, and then he got up and did some serious fighting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right in the androgynous crotch.
This is aggravating. I am
It
still
is
behind
going
it,
to
too.
punch at you again.
Oh, of course.
Although I guess you're both almost dead. That's-
Yeah, we're both almost dead. I mean,
Yeah.
I at least you have bashing. I don't.
3 to hit. Are you splitting your dice pool, or are you used up your dice pool?
Yep.
Yes.
3 levels of damage. Bashing. So soak it with your strength.
It's
Stamina.
Stamina, I'm sorry.
Stamina.
Your stamina's +3 in Hispo.
Yep. 3.
Oh, wow. That feels good.
At least it wasn't a botch.
Right?
Dax, it is your turn. So you roll your stamina, difficulty 8.
You got it.
It's reflexive, so there is no minuses to your dice pool.
I was yawning. I'm sorry.
1.
That's all it takes.
I
You
would
heal
love to
1
get
level of
there.
damage. If it's not aggravated.
Oh, no. I don't heal anything.
Okay.
I stayed out too
Then it is your turn. You
Yes.
took the hit, so you've got your full dice pool. Any rage points you want to spend?
Yes, I'm going to have an extra attack.
Okay.
I'm going to bite that guy
Biting in.
twice.
All right. Dex plus brawl.
4 hits.
Okay. It's not dodging. So 3 roll over to your strength +1, plus another dice because you're in Hispo.
Drink. I'm sorry, say
So
that
it's
again.
strength +2, plus your 3 rollover dice.
Oh, nice. 2.
So remember, Hispo, you get that extra damage point.
5, 6.
Good.
Soaked it all, didn't he?
Almost.
My turn?
Abigail.
I'm going to spend a willpower to take an extra.
My rage. Or
Oh,
my
it will
rage
go
after.
her and then all the extra points.
Right.
So
I'm going to do
rage is the
willpower?
only thing that gives you
Rage.
extra
Oh,
actions.
rage.
Yeah.
Shit. No, never mind.
Biting?
Difficulty 5 still?
Yes.
4.
4 hits?
Yeah, biting. Sorry.
So your strength +1, +3. Your Krynos strength +1, +3.
I almost dropped him all.
Difficulty 6.
5. It's just my damage. I should just not roll anymore and just tell you 5 every time. Did he soak it?
Almost.
Oh, what a bitch. This is getting ridiculous.
Motherfucker.
I'm really
Extra
pissed.
actions.
He's got an extra action.
Go, go, go. Kill it.
4.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Strength
4
+2,
Plus 2.
+3.
Soak 8. Biatch.
Eat my butt.
No, I'm pretty sure that's
So
what he's
tough.
doing.
Yes.
This
I
thing
know.
looks very tore up. It is, it's, again, not bleeding, but it's got huge gashes in it. Like you can see through part of its arm. Well, the other part is still out there. Into the turn, beginning of the turn, Blaze is out running. Cut to her just, I guess, going back to the cairn.
Yeah.
Safe place. This thing looks at you with hatred and says, "You can never destroy me. I am rebellion incarnate. I was created for this." It's your turn. It stops to like gloat or
Why is it
And does
gloating
not
when
attack.
someone's
It gloats
dead?
instead of attacks.
yeah.
It's like Jafar. Just Jafar'd us.
2 hits.
Okay. Strength +2 +1.
I'm biting, so that's 5, right? Yeah.
Not for damage.
Damage is always 6.
Oh, that's right. Damage always 6. Yeah. 5. Soaked it all.
Abigail.
Soaked it all. Abigail.
I don't know what's up with my dice. They are rolling crazy.
1.
1 hits. That's all it takes.
Wait, are you biting?
Yes.
Difficulty 5.
Oh, 2.
2. Strength +1 +1. Krynos strength +1 +1.
4. It's not soaking mine as much. So fingers crossed. No one likes you. It didn't work.
It did not work. Sorry.
Cross your balls.
No, no.
They have been
that leads
all
to
night.
the hospital.
Testicular torsion.
It's not a good
Kirk
thing.
just shakes his head.
Not a good thing.
Hold on to your butts.
This thing crouches down and its wings open up, and it looks like it's gathering its strength.
Oh,
Dax.
God. What
I will spend a rage
Okay.
for an extra.
Kill it before it reaches final form.
Right.
I know that's kind of what I'm thinking.
And
It's sort of looking up.
I only have one left. Was saving it for
2 hits.
Hit strength +2 +1.
6.
Apparently, if I don't kill something in the first round of combat, I then don't get to kill it. Seems to be the way this character gets to go.
Yeah.
With that, he leaps at it
Finally.
and crushes it, and it's gone.
That bitch.
Good grief. You look around, Blaze is gone. She's pretty tore up. You're pretty tore up.
You're still standing in the crowd
There's
of people.
clouds of tear gas floating through. You don't see much of the crowd. You hear people on both sides of you have sort of quieted down. You still hear a couple screams off where your mirror image, your ice image is. But other than that,
It's like jumping around and biting things. Like
exactly, it's exactly what's
Biting the
scaring
air.
the
So
shit out of people
scary.
all the time. east and west, at the far ends of the park, there's violence and clashing, and police sirens are going off, that sort of stuff. You hear some guns being shot, but you think it's different than actually a gunshot. It might be like rubber bullets or something, more canisters of gas. You two are looking at each other.
Let's take off to the cairn.
Well, I was going to, we could stop the violence too. I can find some implement to
You're
yell
pretty
at.
beat up right now.
Am I? Okay.
You both are pretty
We're piecing out.
fucked up.
I'm in Hispo. I assume I can run pretty fast.
Yeah.
I mean, I can change. It's just one level, right? So it's stamina?
Do you both want to shift to lupus?
Yeah.
Wouldn't
What is that?
being
It's
bigger
normal.
be faster?
No, but you go faster in lupus.
Lupus runs the
Lupus
fastest
fastest?
out of all.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So, I'm sorry, what is this? Primal urge and what?
Primal urge and stamina.
Stamina.
And to move into Krynos to lupus would be 2 successes. From Hispo, you'd only need 1 success. Difficulty 6.
Okay. So I need 2 successes. I did it. I'm good. I am now lupus.
Yes.
You both shift and start running off. Your other option would be to gaze into a pool of water and shift to the other side where humans can't see you, but it's up to you.
No.
Okay.
No.
To get back to the cairn, you would have to run through the edge of some of this, or do you want to go north a little bit, down a street, and then run down?
Yeah. We're going to try to
Yes.
avoid as much
Okay.
as we can.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I would
You
assume
guys
these
run
people aren't going to beat dogs.
You
but
guys
yeah.
beat feet past police lines where people are being laid on the ground and arrested. Tear gas is really heavy through here, so you kind of hold your breath as you pass through. But once you get on the other side of the police line, there's just like police cars that are not being used. Another block, and there's really no one around. You guys head east. Let's do dexterity and athletics as you guys are running to dodge cars and people that are
I'm gonna get
walking
hit by a
around.
car.
I know, it's
What's
Difficulty?
difficulty?
difficulty 6.
1.
2.
That's all it takes. You guys weave in and out of stuff. There's a couple people in the streets that are near shops and stuff, but you go blast right past them,
I bark at a few of them.
scaring a few people. Now you're running toward the Martin Luther King Bridge, which is a big, long bridge with cars and stuff on it. Let's do the same. Dex and athletics to not get run over or...
1.
2.
Okay. Running along on all fours, you're running through the lanes of traffic. There are cars going next to you at this time. Some people honk at you. Just keep lolling around. Keep running. Get to the other side. You can break off into flatlands, which eventually lead to some forested areas, and head back toward the cairn. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning right now.
I forgot it was during the day.
It's been an eventful day.
It's been a long day. You guys
I want to sleep.
come back to the cairn, and you see her sitting, or actually laying on her side, as one of the children of Gaia is over her, performing some sort of ritual, chanting and everything. And you see like her hands are glowing and her wounds are sort of knitting back together.
I'll go sit down next to her. What form are you? Still in doggy form?
Still in Krynos.
Oh, you're in Krynos. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit off to the edge.
You guys all come back, and a lot of the other people have already come back in defeat. They didn't find it.
So, man, we're like new to this place, and we're just kicking everyone's ass at things.
Taking names.
Yeah. Like,
And almost dying.
And
A lot.
of
almost all
course,
of you
but
dying.
still, they didn't even find it.
When you guys come back, they see you all and ask what happened, because she's not really saying
Right,
anything.
I'm
She's like in shock.
so lack of willpower that I don't have the strength to.
Abigail and I took care of
will.
business.
It was destroyed then.
Oh, yeah.
There is cheers going up. Drums start back up again. The people that were made it back early, it's the older wolves. So the council is back. They all breathe a sigh of relief and get to healing you guys. So some more people come up and start performing the gifts. As more people start coming back, they start getting more excited when they hear everything's been taken care of. Once you're healed up, you're given some space to sleep. There are some cabins off to the outskirts of the area that may have been used for tourists and whatnot, and you're told like camping areas, and you guys are brought over to them, and they say, you could use this for the day to rest up if you need it.
So, what do we heal up?
Mother's Touch is a third gift, level 1. You spend your Gnosis point, roll Intelligence and Empathy. Difficulty is the target's current rage, or 5 for those with no rage. Each success heals 1 level of lethal, bashing, or aggravated damage. The healer may even heal fresh battle scars in this manner if the gift is applied during the same scene in which the scar was received. An extra Gnosis point is spent. There's no thurges, right? None of you guys are thurges. But you can learn it. You just have to pay the extra experience point or whatever it would be for that. So you guys all crash They have one lodge or one camping cabin that is big enough for all of three of you to crash for the day.
Okay.
So you guys basically wake up the next
Oh,
day
Ragabash.
or later that night and talk to your father about your accomplishments. The council gathers. They gather some more people there. Your brother's not there, and they go through everyone's what's happened, and you all gain a point, which is actually pretty right there.
But I had to make sure my nightmares didn't disturb my sleep too much.
That is true. Yes.
They did not. I mean,
Alright.
they did disturb my sleep, but not enough to do me any damage.
Okay. You did rage healing,
I did the rage healing.
or did we skip that? I can't remember.
No, we skipped it the first time, and then it ended up happening again.
Okay.
I got knocked out, but didn't need the rage healing.
Okay.
Oh, do you only get a scar if you rage heal?
It's an automatic scar, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
If you do the rage heal.
So, do I need to erase anything?
He hasn't told me.
All of
He
your
would have to
X's.
roll all of the X.
Yeah, all your healing, all your damage is healed up.
Okay, we
they're
heal
gonna
completely.
tend to that.
Okay.
Yay!
They should have. Well, it's in the middle of a moot. They may or may not have
They may or not. What?
may or may not have healed you.
Oh, right, before we.
Right. They're very
Embarked.
excited. Everyone's very excited.
Right. No, that made sense. It was fine.
Well, they're just tending us, I guess. We could take as long as we need to.
Well, with the Great Hunt being over,
They were expecting it too, I'm sure.
they probably did have a problem spending the gnosis to patch up the wounded.
After biting the guy on the face and almost breaking my teeth, and then trying to tackle him and get knocked down, I thought he was never gonna die.
It was close. It was close.
He was a jerk.
I probably should have had you guys healed up before you took off, but
That's okay. I got naked in front of a bunch of people.
you did.
Fine. Hey, I stopped half of a
Nobody
riot.
actually died.
Day in the
so,
life
you
of
know.
Abigail.
Yeah. Showing my
Apparently.
hoo-ha.
Yeah. Seems to be a common occurrence.
So superficial scars.
Yeah.
I couldn't help it. I was going to be naked.
Gain 1 temporary glory point, and your appearance may be -1 in certain situations.
Cool. I'll rely on my animal
So
magnetism
that'll
to make
remain.
up for that.
Yeah, that'll remain hairless in all forms, and that's the main
Sorry.
Yeah.
down point to that. All right, experience points, and we have,
50.
I still don't have a scar. I need to get a scar.
you started off with 1. You have your toes.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I do. I only have 3
Which
toes.
I
on
forgot
one
to
foot.
add that into your.
You have 3 toes on 1 foot?
Mhm.
That's not creepy at all.
That would have been
lost,
his,
lost a couple toes to a train.
Oh, it would have been your prelude.
The prelude. Yeah, and it probably should have switched it to that thing biting you in the foot when you kicked it with your shoe, but I did not. Do
Ah, that would have been good.
Experience. That's what I'm looking for. Everybody gets 1 automatic point for the night. Learning curve. Did you guys all learn something this time?
I think so.
Yes.
Yes.
All the check marks and all that stuff. Concept. Did everyone do a good job acting out your concept?
I got naked in front of a whole crowd of people and made them laugh.
Yeah.
I think I did
I
personally.
got into a lot of fights,
And you survived.
and I survived.
I don't think I did.
What's your nature? I'm sorry. Loner?
Loner.
Loner.
Probably not. You worked as a team.
Yeah.
And you participated in
You
the...
did go off on your own and botch a couple times.
I did
which-
do that.
Acting will give everybody a point.
Okay.
Heroism, I'm going to say everybody did this just out of trying to save people and jumping in the way and saving each other. Everybody gets a point. All right, so renown.
So are we all up to 10 then?
I'm at 11.
I said that should be 11.
But he didn't
I
act out
didn't get
his
that.
nature.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So yes.
10.
And make sure you mark down your total that you're getting in case your character does die. Those get rolled over to your new replacement.
Nope. Paper.
Anybody survive an incapacitating wound, it does not matter what it was. You will take
Yes.
2
Pretty sure
temporary
that was
glory.
everyone.
2 temporary glory. Nice.
That's how I got all my glory. Like, I'm almost all the way full because of last session.
Yeah.
2 temporary glory for defeating a formidable supernatural threat.
Is that for everyone or the guy who
Everybody.
had the killing blow?
It's a pack, everybody.
Ah.
Sorry.
2 glory, you said?
Yeah.
What happens if it fills up? Just
You have a
curious.
chance to
Make it
gain a
permanent.
permanent point.
Cool. I only need 1 more. Go. Do I get another one? No. So do you gain wisdom and honor similarly?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going through
Except
the list
you-
of...
Okay.
Those require doing things less in combat, more in, defeating
Yeah.
esoteric evil.
Wisdom too? Or is it just being
Wisdom,
smart?
wisdom is, earning wisdom. Glory is absolutely battle, surviving, defeating foes physically. Honor is, bringing honor to
Your
yourself,
tribe.
your tribe, your pack.
Participating in a successful great hunt rite, plus 3 glory.
Woo!
Now what do I do if I can get a new one?
Well, you'll have to go to the elders, and they will
Cool.
That just filled me up too.
That should have filled
So I have
you
a
up.
I have one extra. That just
save it.
count?
Keep it off to the side
Yeah.
because if it,
It rolls over?
it's a
Cool.
So
And then wisdom is things like solving mysteries and following trails and
Okay. Cool.
doing things the intelligent way, the mental games.
Something my
Also, I
character's good
think
at.
a lot more, like, I think also, like, it has more to do with, like, communicating with spirits in a non-physical combat way,
Oh, just talking to him. essentially.
negotiations or anything like that.
Got it. I actually read a little bit about that, but it's been a while, so I was like, I want to make sure.
I'm pulling things off the top of my head that sound right. So,
Well, yeah, I just meant like the idea of gaining them, like
right.
you
and
can
that's-
gain those too.
You can. You do them the exact same way, just in different styles.
Gotcha.
protecting helpless humans. The two that did that to honor temporary. So you two that tried to disperse them before they attacked the police.
You thought about it, but then they killed you.
Right, I
Right.
tried. and it didn't work.
Well, wouldn't you technically get it since you tried? I mean, you jumped into the middle of them.
It's whatever.
Take one.
Okay.
Because they beat you to death.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really
the
honor.
intention was there.
No one had a berserk frenzy. No one had a fox frenzy.
No.
No throw all the worm.
No.
Just 2 last time.
We try not to mention that.
Yeah.
We don't talk about it.
We
No.
tried to downplay that when
Yeah.
we were telling them the story of what we did on the first hunt. We were like, yeah, and throw all the worm, and
Yeah, and then
just
maybe
gloss
again, then
that
maybe
one
again.
over.
You went into the thrall, but you pulled it back at the last minute, and that's what was the extra. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe you did that. All right, once you've gained 10 points of temporary renown in any particular category, you need to ask another guru of equal or higher rank to perform the rite of accomplishment. If the rite is successful, the character's standing has increased in Guru's society and add a point of permanent renown in that category. She also erases all temporary points in that category. Any extra above 10 are lost. Oh, shit. So once you get the 10 temporary, don't even worry about putting extra ones down. All right,
At least it was only one extra.
Right. Correct.
I was exact.
Nice.
The rite of accomplishment is performed when a character has 10 points. The difficulty is only 4 unless someone disputes the rite. Your brother's going to be a pain in the ass.
Oh.
My dad could beat him. It's fine.
In that instance, it raises to a 6. Only 1 success is required.
Yeah, but what if like I had my? I mean, wouldn't?
It's really kind of probably one of those. Does anybody object at a wedding? And
Right.
even as long as one person objects,
does
it throws a little bit of a.
Maybe I can do
Downer
like
on
a
the whole
stare
thing.
down that's really mean looking.
Possible.
And then flip him off.
I'm not gonna
It is
do that.
possible, although rare, that someone will dispute the rite. In the case, the disputer stands and heckles the rite master as he performs the rite. So he's going to be heckling his dad.
Yeah.
That
Because
might
he
be
hates
tough.
you.
Making
so
bold assertions
much.
about the negative qualities of the applicant. The applicant is so insulted must make a rage roll not to frenzy.
Well,
yeah, that would
If
happen.
you frenzy during the rite is over. If you keep your cool, the rite is successful. No one can rightfully.
I don't know if he's gonna want to show his face around the crowd anytime soon though, because he did just unleash that in front of everybody.
Roll 1 die.
1 die? 9.
He does not show up. All right.
I wouldn't show my face. I mean, if I did that, ooh, I'm sure people are
I
pissed.
doubt he's.
Is he gonna get in trouble for this, by the way, or are people just fine with him being a dick?
Don't know. He will receive some
Not tomorrow
negative
yet.
shit. It's got a botch.
I would have immediately pounced on him if I was an elder. I'd been like, look, kick him in the dog balls.
Maybe somebody did.
Maybe.
Because we did run right off.
We did.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. Somebody could have. Maybe that's why he didn't show up.
You all succeed, so all your whatever you have 10 in, your glory moves over to a full point, and all your extras are erased below it.
Yay!
I should have objected.
Zero.
So for the Ragabosh, you just have to get 7 permanent points in any combination, and you go up to the second level.
Oh, I only need 7?
7 permanent dots.
Oh,
Up
Rank.
with your total of all
Oh.
together. So you have
7
4 right
permanent
now.
rank. Yeah, right now.
I see.
Galliard needs 4 glory and 2 wisdom permanent points. Around needs 4 glory, 1 honor, 1 wisdom.
Need an
So
honor and
I don't
wisdom.
need it in specific things, but I need more
Right.
than
You
everybody
just need
else.
7. Yeah, you need 1 point.
And we will see us next time. We will have Seth on remote because he will be
I will be on location.
Ohio.
Yes.
This has been a production of Gaming Without Gaming. All rights reserved. You may download only material displayed and identified on the site as specifically available for downloading. Such material is for non-commercial personal use only, provided you also retain all copyright and other proprietary notices contained on the materials. You may not, however, distribute, modify, transmit, reuse, repost, or use the content of the site for public or commercial purposes, including the text, images, audio, and video without our written permission. Werewolf the Apocalypse 20th Anniversary Edition is property of Onyx Path Publishing. Please visit DriveThruRPG to purchase your copy of the game today.